and welcome back to Off the Beaten Quest. Or welcome for the first time, in which case you may end up being lost, and that's what happens since you're not all caught up. But hey, stay a while, pull up a chair, grab some snacks, watch tonight's episode, and then go back and check out all our past episodes. Then you'll finally know what the heck is going on, but I digress. Point is that there's a lot of D&D podcast actual plays out there, but you chose this one. We're so glad you did, and I'm sure you are too. Your local deli would be glad you tuned in as well, but let's jump right into our recap. So, last session, the group, with the help of a team of Harrowings known as the Burrow Vanguard, helped to rescue Ira from the fanatics known as the Eyes of Dendia. While doing so, through some tough moral decisions were made by our very own Verity to strike down a teenager amidst the chaos. The group, acting fast, healed him, and he was ushered off with Tuxlop and the Burrow Vanguard to give any information on the Eyes to help shed more light into their actions currently working in the shadows. After which, the group had a lot of tough conversations amidst the fallout, and Verity even reached a connection to Erebus to speak about her pact. And finally, the group, using what little information they received about the Eyes of Dendia, decided to head to an airship where some of their members were said to be. And this is where we join our adventurers. So, you all had decided to set off into the market of Luware to potentially try and find a map of some sorts, amidst other things to kind of prepare to head out of Luware soon. So, you head into the market.
Sable was leading us, right?
I believe so. There was no certainty as to which if she was heading in the right direction.
I think Eliana didn't trust Sable.
Yeah, I think
Eliana's leading.
I think Eliana was like, "Are you sure what happened last time? You didn't go to the right place." And then we were just like, "We're going to the market." They said
cartographer, and you rolled a history that was not well, and very well could be leading them to a place that makes carts. So,
and then we were like, we're just gonna go to the market.
Venture there and figure it out. So, go ahead and roll a group perception check.
29.
Jax rolled a 23.
14.
13.
12.
Can I use my passive?
No, because you're actively looking. This isn't something that you can just see on. You're actively kind of making it a point to look.
Lame.
So it seems that Verity and Jax are the only ones that essentially know what to look for, as far as what a cartographer may be or even look like in the midst of a town or village setting. So you head off into this busy market, and after a little while of looking, you essentially find what looks to be a cartographer. Small, looks as if it's not very worldly as far as official standards, or if they sell them to people far and wide, could be very much a local cartographer, things like that. So the outside essentially has there's not really any signs or markings. It just kind of has barrels of what looks like maps or map paper, as well as you can see within the window there are some kind of large easels that kind of slant down, and you can see somebody scribbling away on something, or kind of drawing with a T square and kind of making sure it's all lined up properly and things like that.
This was not Ira's idea. She's not taking the lead.
Well,
Hi.
So essentially, you enter in the shop. It look on the inside. It looks as if it's not necessarily, like I said, it's not a large business. This looks like it's just somebody's locally owned. It could just be a cartographer just for their own interests, not for trade or economic reasons. And there is a small kind of dwarven man, kind of balding, white hair, long beard, and he looks up from the easel, and he's got these kind of thick spectacles on his eyes, and he says, "Oh, hello. What could I do for you?" Kind of, like, really intense for no reason.
Enter. Roll initiative. Dwarven man wants to kill you.
2. We are looking to route our way to the nearest airship port. Do you have any maps in that direction? Do we know where specifically that is?
Oh, just the Aarencia Aeronautics Alliance is where we're looking to go.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, I could give you a map of the area, and it should lead you right there.
That would be great.
And he kind of gets up off like this like stool and kind of walks through the business or like the shop, and he kind of like, it almost looks like a wine rack, but it just got scrolls kind of like sticking out, and he kind of like grabs a few, kind of shoves it back in, grabs another one, grabs one, and then finally grabs one and brings it out, and hands it to you, and you unroll it, and you can see this.
We got a fucking printout, guys. We haven't gotten a printout in like 60 sessions. Dead.
It's also in black and white, and
Yeah,
it's
it
not
is.
easily to see things, which is great. Because
Who's responsible for holding on to this? Make sure we don't lose it. How much is this?
I mean, I've got plenty of copies. It's just the map of the continent. So, and you guys do see that this is just a map of Fogmarsh. It is not anything. So essentially, it's just a more detailed version of the map you already had.
Is AAA called out? Is it on the map?
I don't know. You
Yes,
tell me.
It is. It's in. It looks like it's in like the peaks of some mountains.
It's just
Oh
north.
my god, your voice has changed.
Sorry.
And it's just, you see that it's just north of
It's
a place
about
called Swamp Tree.
northeast of where we are now.
No,
Okay, is there
you're in the
anything?
where.
We're in the where? Yeah.
Yeah. But you see,
northeast.
yeah, it's north of a place called Swamp Tree. So essentially, and the way that you can see from the map, the way the mountain range is, essentially you guys would need to go to Swamp Tree and then through Swamp Tree into this like mountain range to where like kind of leading, it's like a passageway to this like airship port.
Have you traveled this way before? We have horses. I'm trying to see if they're going to be straight enough to get us to where we're trying to go.
Yeah, the horse, I mean, I've traveled there before, but it's been some time. I don't get out of Luer much. It's not really, I don't need to.
It's a nice place.
What's your name, good sir?
It's Henry.
Henry. Okay. Well,
With an
thank
I
you.
or a Y?
I don't know.
With 2 E's.
I usually spell it with a Y, I guess.
2E, that's a new one.
I was wondering, do you do star maps?
Not really. That's not my forte. I kind of focus on where people have been and where they're going, and not. They kind of need to look forward. They can't look up.
Well,
Kind of defeat the
sometimes
purpose.
it's kind of useful when you're traveling by sea.
Yeah, up helps you go forward.
There's not a lot of water around here.
What do you mean? It's a swamp.
Yes, but you don't need that kind of big of a boat. I mean,
Sorry. Because there is a lot of water. It's a swamp.
Not for like a big ship, though.
not enough to need the stars. I mean, you
You're
get
covered
lost
in trees because you're in the swamp.
Yeah, can't really navigate through. It's a little difficult.
Well, maybe I'll make my own star maps. That'd be a development.
Dutchy. First appearance on the kitty cam.
Getting chastised. Baby.
Okay, we have to stop getting distracted every time they come in the room. They are little celebrities, but still.
Should we stock up on other maps, I guess?
Question.
Yes.
Answer is likely no. That's completely fine. Do you have any old maps of the original continent of Mar?
No,
How did you know where I was going with that?
I didn't. I just don't have that map.
Didn't even think about it. Wow.
I mean, not many people have that map. It's been like 1,000 years.
And it's like the walls are like covered in maps, and like it's like really.
Yeah, but like you can tell that after like go ahead and make like perception checks just as you're like looking around the room, or you can do one if you're just looking around.
17.
You get the sense that, and your passive insight would probably tell you this as well. You get the vibe that he only can make maps of Bogmarsh. He doesn't know anywhere else.
Aww.
I love
All the
him.
maps are different versions of Bogmarsh. They're just like topographical, like
But I love
climates.
that. He has a topographical map. Can I get your topography map, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's still in development. I'm still working that out. With the swamp, you can tell that a lot of things change with the tides.
Well, you said that with the mountains, so I was elevation.
I mean,
things.
swamp trees should be able to get you into the pathway to the Aeronautics Alliance. It's not a lot of their import and exports typically come from there, just because it's a swamp.
Okay.
They're not really on the coast.
Okay, well, thank you.
Well, did we want to stock up on anything else? This is a great map, by the way. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I do have some things to do. I mean, you're welcome to have this conversation just outside the shop, but if you're discuss your next plans, I do unfortunately have to get to work. I don't mean to be
sorry.
rude.
Thank you.
You keep working on that topographical map. I'm sure it's, yeah. Okay, bye. Thank you.
It's at its peak.
Oh, that was a good one. Okay, goodbye.
I walk out of the shop.
I walk behind you. Did you have to fake laugh for him? Or did you really find it funny?
It was a little funny.
You think so?
Yeah. Like a kind of like a nose huff laugh, like a but not like a full laugh.
Oh, but you did it more dramatic just to make him feel good about himself?
Yeah, sometimes you just do that for people.
I like the way you think.
Did you just wink at me?
No, I just...
She had an eye twitch, apparently.
Take it easy.
It's not that kind of show.
Okay.
Caroline, you did this to yourself.
I didn't even wink. Yeah, you did. Your eye went like I didn't mean to.
She had a twitch.
Can't lie when we're on camera.
It's true.
There's visual evidence.
Okay, so play it back. No full closure.
So,
No.
You hear that, editor? Zoom super far in on Caroline's face
on the
and
episode.
show that the eye doesn't all the way close.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't.
So what we're doing?
I mean, did we want to check out some of the other markets here?
Do you need anything before we
Do you
go?
even have any money to get anything?
I have money. Not really, but kind of.
Well, we knew that.
I mean, not that I can think of.
Wait, where are we going when we get to the AAA?
We're going to see the guys. To see the cult people that are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go look into them.
Sorry, I forgot.
There's not really a direction after that. You guys haven't
Yeah.
gotten that far.
Gotcha, thank you.
Yeah, we're leaving on a hunch.
Probably good to get the first few stepping stones before you try to jump across the river, maybe.
Sometimes
but,
you try to
know,
make plans.
Hey.
But it's fine. It's okay.
You try your best. You don't succeed.
Whoa.
Are there any little magic shops around here? I want to see if there's any goodies around. Probably not.
There is. It's like a market full of different sells like fish, like textiles.
Okay.
This is it's like selling goods for people to buy things for like dinner and groceries and.
We're not traveling with fish, everyone.
There's not a lot of import export I'm gonna come to where to sell things because that's it's not
Fair enough.
it's a lot of locals only kind of stuff.
Oh, what are their local herbs?
DM's like, God fucking damn it.
Do you guys cook your own dinners?
Jax is the cook among us. Meals haven't missed yet.
I know how to use herbs here and there, but I don't really cook.
You make mean herbal teas though.
Yeah.
Cured a hangover of mine real quick.
You like herbs?
10's landing this year.
What?
Yeah?
It just
I
means it's a
also
10.
like herbs.
What is happening?
Yeah, but when you have to add it to a percentile, does that make it just 50 if it's 40?
Wait,
Then it's a 0.
there's a 0.
It's just 40.
Yeah.
Why does this fucking D100 only go to 30? That doesn't make. It's not called a D100. God.
Anyway,
These fucking people in these.
Sable, what?
tables.
Oh, nothing.
She said she liked herbs too. I feel like a lot of people like herbs. They're in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
They're
I used to run an apothecary.
Wait, what?
I thought it was a flower shop.
It was both.
So the flowers you didn't sell, you turned into herbs?
Yep, my dad did.
Whoa, that's resourceful.
It's a good business model.
Yeah.
Why didn't you say that earlier?
I mean,
No one asked her.
That's true.
yeah. I'm just trying to fit in.
What was it called?
The Veil in Bloom.
The Veil in Bloom? Okay, so it was like your goddess-centric.
No, this was way before.
That's ironic.
It's also my last name.
What?
Veil is your last name?
Yes.
So the veiled, what did your parents like name you for the connection to?
You know, I have no idea.
Because that seems like a big coincidence.
So
Or
you-
fate.
So as you guys are having this conversation as you're walking, and you find an herb place, you find something called lion's tooth. It has a distinct tooth-like edged leaf and yellow blossoms at the height of summer. The root can be roasted to make tea or as a filler for something like making basic healing potions.
Ooh. I'm gonna pick some of that up.
And you also find aphidos, also called acidiodios, ASSIODIOS. Anyone who carries this sought-after reddish-brown root on their person cannot be possessed by demons or devils.
Whoa.
Any who try are compelled to reveal their name as they are driven out. So I guess it's like kind of similar to that of a sage, but on a more literal level.
Anti-possession. I'm like, this might come in handy. I might pick some.
Yeah, how much is
With
that?
this. Yeah, that.
And
I wonder
finally,
what would
for the third-
happen
I wonder what would happen.
if.
Verity is not paying attention.
Rude. Stop rolling 12. Fuck.
12.
It gave me 12 like 3 times. And stockweed looks like nothing so much as a bundle of thin twigs poking from the crags of arid, windswept regions. So essentially just like a bundle of sticks, similarly. When ground into a powder, can be sprinkled upon a creature to grant advantage while sneaking or hiding.
That one might be more expensive. How much are all of these guys? Because the
bookmark
lion's
this,
tooth
because-
is good with healing potions. You said.
The stalkweed could be
It's good
interesting.
with the like
As a
making
substitute
healing
base.
potions.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a similar like uses a base and stuff. So lion's tooth, stockweed, and aphidos. I guess it's like a play on words for like something. I don't know. Anyway, so the aphidos is essentially it's like 20 gold a pound.
A pound? We don't need a pound.
And it's like produce rules, right? So if you don't want a full pound, it's ratioed. Like, you've bought produce before.
So we just need like a small bag of it.
Do like a stock up. How much would like a
16 ounces in a pound.
yeah? How much would like a fourth of a pound be?
4
So
ounces.
4 ounces.
Yeah. How much? So that's like 5 gold, right? How much would that get me?
So it would be 5 gold
Yeah. How
Yeah.
far would that get me in usage?
of the aphidos.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 ounces is probably like a root and a half.
That's
It like,
4 ounces IRL
yeah.
is the amount that I bring back from the shop that I go to.
Yeah.
So it's like this big of like,
a small jar's worth. So essentially, like,
that's
as
a good
whole,
amount.
so like to shave it off and make like shavings and like
Yeah.
do whatever you need to do with it. Essentially, it's like a hunk of ginger.
Mm-hmm.
whatever that would get you. You have so give me a nature check.
Okay. I was like mechanically.
You're gonna
like,
have to make a nature check to
how-
see if you even know how to use this.
Nature. That is going to be a 14 plus 9, 23.
23.
Yes.
Apothecary Diaries. You want to roll for it and see if you know how to do it?
Damn.
It's an anime.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why that one?
You don't like her D20?
It always that one always rolls bad.
Is it like a jelly one? It looks like it's jiggly.
18.
18.
Okay.
So I guess you know more about this than she does.
Flowers.
It's a rude. I know, yeah, it's right. You know more about like flowers and herbs versus like root. With 23, the 4 ounces is enough as far as like if you needed to use it as like a spell component. Essentially, like think in terms of mechanically, this would be enough to do 2 castings of like remove curse.
Okay.
Okay. Is
But
it
it's not literally that spell, but it's like
yeah.
just as far as terms of like you get 2 uses.
Is the cost of each herb the same?
No.
Aw. What's the other one?
Okay.
The lion's tooth is essentially lion's tooth is 2 gold a pound, and the
Stalkweed.
stockweed is 1 gold a pound.
Okay. I'm gonna just get a pound of stockweed.
Okay.
1 pound.
Ira's gonna give you the gold for this.
Oh, thank you. And you said 4 ounces equals 2 uses.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to do the math.
I mean, for that one.
For the
The other 2, you're gonna have to like figure that out too.
I mean, a pound of an herb is a ton of an herb.
Sure is.
this. Okay, I'll get 1 pound of stockweed, which is
1.
Yeah.
1 gold. And then I will get a pound of the lion's tooth, which is 2 gold.
Mhm.
Just to make it even. And then the most expensive one is the Aphodos.
And I sent you the listings for those and like what they do and stuff, so that way you have them to add to your inventory. Because you probably have to make like a homebrew thing and add it.
Yeah.
How
Or
much,
you can just base it off of your notes. It doesn't matter. Just kind of as long as you can keep track.
how much Aphodos do you want?
So you got the 4 ounces, so that's
Yeah, we can do
4 gold. So in total, probably
5. You said it was
Oh, it's
5
5.
gold.
Yeah.
So in total,
It's 8.
8. Yeah, 8 gold. So go ahead and remove that from you.
I just did. Thank you.
So you're buying it. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, she just spent 100 or 1,000, whatever it was, on the other thing.
We said
The-
8
the-
gold for how much?
The 4 ounces of the
Pound a pound and
Aphodos
4 ounces.
and a pound of
you're
lion's
talking-
tooth.
yeah,
Yeah.
total. Gotcha.
And the woman says, "Oh, thank you." You know.
Thank you so much. I've never seen these herbs before. This is really cool to see herbs in this area.
Do they come with little cards of what they do?
Sure.
Like at the fucking
Sure.
aroma tea. Fucking.
They're like, there's like a little stack of like little tiny little parchment things and like handwritten ones in front of each of the little herbs.
Sable grabs
Yay.
one of each.
Sweet.
Like all of the cards?
No, one of each.
Of
Oh,
3.
of the 3. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were like, I'm gonna grab one of every single herb that they have.
I'm
Alright.
klepto.
Awesome. You don't steal them.
They're
Came with my
free.
purchase.
They're free.
Their gift with purchase.
Their gift with purchases.
All right. Anyone else need anything?
So then there's one other one that kind of stands out. It's known as blood moss.
Blood moss.
It's a pale white moss commonly found around graveyards and battlefields. When placed into a wound, it absorbs the blood and swells, sealing deep cuts. This moss can be used to instantly stabilize a down creature. So essentially, this is like a
Nothing about that's going to be cheap, guys.
like a stability. What's it called? Like is that a healing kit? Is that what healing? Same thing a healing kit does? I think
I
it
think it
stabilizes
is.
somebody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I like that. That one.
50 gold.
No.
That one is more expensive than the other one.
So 30 instead of 20?
It's going to be about 40 gold a pound.
We don't need that. We can both
healers.
We can both stabilize people. We don't need that.
It's cool, though.
You literally can do it with it. You can do it.
I know, but it's cool.
Okay, well, we don't have 40 gold to just throw away.
Again, produce rules. Like, you don't need to get a full pound.
I think we're good.
It's like if you go to like the bulk candy aisle and you only want like a couple pieces of candy, you can still get it. It only costs like $1.
Does it smell like a cemetery?
It smells like carrion.
I don't know what that is.
Do you know what that is?
No.
Carrion is...
So what? You acted like you did. You didn't say anything.
Carrion is dead flesh.
Yeah, I gotta get me some of that.
What the? Do you say that out loud?
She smells it and she's like, I need some.
That's the good stuff. Okay, I want a fourth of that.
A fourth of that. So essentially it's 10 gold.
Okay, done.
Okay. I will send you via Discord the
Why did
description.
you? I don't see why you had. I mean, you already can do that yourself.
Okay, but like, what if
she's down?
What if I don't have the spells for it?
And what if she's down?
It's a cantrip. But then I can get her. I guess if we're both down, then
Right.
Yeah, backup plan, I guess.
And it smells good.
He just has stuff against dead stuff.
I don't think that's true. This actually smells really bad.
I love shopping. This is
Listen,
so
I'm not going to say no. I'm yes-anding this a little bit, but I'm being real vague on purpose.
All right.
Okay.
Verity, do you need anything?
I don't think I do. Do we want to keep all the horses or?
Do we even know where they are?
How much did you?
Yeah, we'd put them in a stable.
Did we?
Yeah.
We went to the Veiled Observatory
I
and
was
then
very
went inside.
worried about these horses and that we would get them back. So they're somewhere. And if they're not, I'm suing somebody and they're giving me the money
I do
for
not,
the horses
as
worth.
Jax and DM does not recall that happening. I'm pretty sure when we got into the where by foot.
We didn't just get, no, because we came in
Yeah.
and then there was the thing for the little boy. Ira got off the horse
Yeah, and that's what I mean.
and
I
back
think
on the horse.
you rode it to the Veilbound Observatory. You guys went inside with dying Eliana and then did all that stuff. There was never a point where anybody said, hey, let's take these to the stable.
They're somewhere. We have them because we've confirmed we've had them.
Can the people that have been listening back to the episodes, can we confirm that?
I don't remember.
I'm not on that one
I've
yet.
only gotten to like the next.
All three of us are useless.
I haven't gone that far.
The worst part is I literally just edited this episode and I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure we just left them
Well,
outside.
we've been talking about having these horses. You told us last
No.
session we had the horses.
We have the horses. I just don't think
Just circle
it's like
back
we
there.
just left them outside and somebody was like, whose fucking horse is that? And like and just took them to like a stable or something.
Did you guys pay for horses?
We
Yeah,
did.
no.
Yeah, when
Are you
were
certain?
We both
Wait.
went 50-50 on the horses.
Yeah,
We paid for the horses.
Yeah,
but
they
did
paid
we
for the
put them
horses.
up anywhere?
I don't remember.
There's a lot of uncertainty, which leads me to believe I don't think we did. I genuinely, again, I think we're getting
Eliana's
lost in
like-
the weeds about the horses, but I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to find where they are.
Because a stable would cost something, so
Yeah.
like, someone would remember taking gold out.
Well, it's like an inn, right? Like you pay when you leave because you don't know how long you're gonna be there. Have them there for.
And in this case, they're probably at what would be like the horse equivalency of like
horse
like
training
a
school.
pound or like shelter or like
Or like a
like-
parking garage, but for horses.
or an impound lot more so because they were just left outside somewhere and they're
They're
like
just wandering around.
eventually they like broke through their reins and were just like
Eliana asks, so how are we getting to there?
We have horses.
Oh, where?
and Jax asks again, do we know where the horses are?
We can try and check the observatory.
can ask them where they put the horses.
You guys don't know where you left the horses?
You know, we had a higher priority of keeping you alive.
Fair enough.
We had to keep you alive, Eliana.
Okay, so it could be at the observatory. It could.
Let's go there then, I guess. Retrace your steps.
Damn it, Dawn.
What did Dawn do?
I don't know.
She left us.
What the Dawn doing?
Are we gonna go back? Okay, we're going back, and Aarencia's just walking back to the observatory.
So you guys go back to the Veiled Observatory. You inquire about the horses. They say that they did see horses outside of the Veilbound Observatory, and after not being claimed for a few days, they did have to call somebody to alleviate them because they were kind of making a mess.
Fucking repo man.
They were kind of using the bathroom on the ground too much, and they had to kind of like.
Where did they go? Where did you take them?
They went to the stable of the city, essentially where a lot of unclaimed horses go. Because again, it's kind of an adventuring standard, I guess, in this universe that like people do perish a lot, and horses get left if they go into a cave and don't come out, kind of thing. Like,
They were 50 gold a piece.
hey, I don't mean to be bleak, but this is like, it's kind of you got to think about the logistics of like, hey, just, he came in on a horse. Did he leave? What did he do with the horse?
We go that way, I guess.
Yeah.
So you go to the stables, and essentially it's kind of like close to like the gate of the city, essentially kind of where you guys came into Luer. And the kind of go walk up to like the front like of the building, and it's like, again, like a large stable. It looks like they're doing very well. They have like large like plots of land that kind of extend out of the city walls into like kind of fields and kind of like tended to like swamp fields that have like kind of filled in, so it's not like murky or like muddy and stuff. And after walking in, you kind of walk up to the counter, and it's this like young kind of halfling that's kind of just like sitting behind the desk, kind of like looking through some ledgers and stuff. And she kind of looks up and she says, what can I do for you? Hello.
Hi. How long have I been here? Like 3 days? 4 days?
Yeah, I've been here for like a few days.
We came in a few days ago to the Veilbound Observatory, and we had 5 horses. Were any brought to you? Maybe from...
Oh, so you're the scoundrels that left the horses out there.
We thought our friend was dying. She's not. She's back. She's alive. She's great. But we need to
What did you think about if the horses were dying? That's just, you left them outside.
She's right.
Eliana,
Well, they gotta
pick
eat.
a team.
They gotta eat.
It's a swamp. There's green shit everywhere.
It's like you can't just like drink out of a river. It's not.
Do you just want to stay here?
No, I feel bad for the horses.
My goodness. How much?
As you should be. That's.
How much do we owe you for the horses? For
I don't know if I ought to be giving them back to you. You left them just out in the middle of the street.
I promise I'll make sure they're taken care of.
Yeah, she promises, and I promise.
Ira's not going to, but she wants to deck Eliana.
You're making weird eye contact with me. I don't know if I feel comfortable now. It's.
Those are the eyes of an honest woman.
Oh yeah.
You broke him.
It's like the blank stare of a horse. It's like,
I was not with them when they lost the horses and stuff. So you
I wasn't conscious when it was happening.
Sorry, we entered a shadow realm to fight a god for you.
Thank you so much.
So,
no, I definitely don't know if I should be giving them back to you. You sound crazy.
Ira looked at Eliana to fix this.
It did happen. There's a lot that happens in this world that some people just aren't aware of. And I used to not be aware of it a lot, but it kind of sucks a lot.
And it sounds like
But
you were unaware of the horses.
When you're on an adventure, you've got to be used to adventures needing transportation, right? But I'm a druid, so I know how the animal ecosystem works, and I will make sure they're taken care of.
Also, we have Stella and Ollier and Colt are all out right now. So, like, we have very happy
Look at our
animals with
little
us.
buddies.
Our little
Sable.
guys.
Sable.
Also,
God bless.
What? Sarah was like, "Hey, Sable," and you looked at me.
it's in my ear. I'm sorry.
Can you cast Zone of Truth, please?
Let me try something first.
Okay.
What if, just what if, we touched pinkies and we swore that we were good to the horses, and if we're not good to the horses, you get to break my pinky finger.
Is this a
That's
new
like
thing?
a forever thing.
Is this a new thing?
If you're taking the horses and you're leaving, how am I ever going to find you?
I'm from here.
Fucking liar.
You don't look like you're from here.
I'm from Ish here.
Not here-ish.
Where's Ish here? I've never heard of this place.
You know, if I had a map, I could show you where I'm from, but we travel like all over the place.
Well, I mean, we
Guys,
have the
you
map
do
of the
have a
continent
map.
right here.
Here you go.
Shh.
Verity like slowly gets into it, then slowly puts it back like in her bag, like
She misses the cue of the sarcasm.
Roll for persuasion, I guess.
Kira's gonna give her guidance.
Oh man.
Add a D4.
Oh man. Nope. 14.
14.
It was a 3.
Damn.
I rolled exactly a 14.
Beats it, beats it.
Well, we've been housing him for a few days. It's not going to be cheap.
Okay, Jax, our friend, has a lot of money.
Not anymore. I gave it all to her.
How much?
Well, like, how much are we talking?
I mean, it's going to be at least 15 a horse.
I
Someone
can.
do math for me.
I can.
This calculator, I can't. I don't know.
75.
Yeah,
75 gold.
Oh my goodness.
I can put forward 15.
Can you?
Yeah,
Thought you were like broke.
I have 38 gold left.
Sable's staring at Verity. Hey, you know how you messed up earlier?
Messed up. What?
I paid for these
Yeah.
horses the first time.
I was gonna cover Verity and Jax because they paid for the horses initially.
Yeah, we bought them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought everyone paid for them.
No.
So Ira's gonna
Oh.
pull out 45 gold for 3 of them.
Okay.
Verity will cover
pay
And you
mine.
cover yours.
No, I'm paying for
So that's
yours.
six.
Verity's gonna
60.
cover Sable's.
Sable
And
don't need
Eliana.
it. Sable's fine. Sable can handle her damn self. Sable wants to come. Sable can pay for her horse.
Without seeing the screen, she believes that about Sable.
I'll cover Eliana's.
Eliana's paying for her own.
I'll pay for my own.
Just listen.
I heard.
You made a whole deal about paying for them the first time.
What I
Don't be
said
like
was,
a dad.
Totally a joke, by the way. It was just me being funny. Like, I don't actually hold anything against what you did.
What did she do?
That's a little concerning.
I think she's talking about the thing with the kid,
Yeah.
to be honest.
So you're not. You're okay with that?
I mean, morally, no, but as
Okay.
her friend, yeah.
Okay.
Is the lady still
Oh.
watching us?
She's just like kind of like,
I mean, she just got 45 gold.
yeah, and you do need to give me 30 more.
Okay. I give her 15.
Okay.
I
and
gave
then
her 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Just meet out towards the side. There's an kind of gate there. We'll bring them to you.
Can I pick mine out?
You're getting one of the ones that you left.
I wasn't with them. I didn't leave.
Well, you don't get to pick.
Okay. I had to try.
This isn't a adoption agency.
I mean, okay.
Are you sure I should be giving you these horses?
Yes.
I mean, maybe for you don't. You might have to hitch a ride.
No,
Can you even ride a horse?
I think.
This is very. Can you even read?
That's
Vibes.
Have I rode a horse before?
A roll for animal handling.
Oh man.
Animal handling. Is that what that would be?
Oh shoot,
I
I'm
think
good
so,
at that.
because you need to know if you can ride a horse. I can do history.
18.
It's the same thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have a +8 to animal handling.
Impressive.
How the fuck? Okay. Sure.
I think it's the human thing.
do you
Maybe.
do you want me to check in on any of the horses here to see if they need anything for you? As you're, a druid, I can try to offer some services for you. In
No,
exchange.
we're doing just fine. I appreciate
Okay.
it. We get by.
I'm sorry.
So,
I'm sorry there.
How about we go meet her out where she told us to meet her,
Okay.
so she can get us our horses. And, we
and
can
you
go.
like kind of go to like leave the barn. You just hear, and she's like goes to the back of.
Eliana, when you offer services, make sure you tell them that they have to pay you. She says outside, not near the
She was
horse
pretty
person.
angry. I feel like it was more like a service to compensate her for what she had to deal with.
But you paid for the horses.
Yeah, but I still felt bad.
Oh, but okay. Teach their own.
Okay. So after a few minutes,
Okay.
you she comes up with the horses. They are the horses that you had bought before, and the 5 of them that you had purchased in Rivermire, and you were able. She kind of they look like they've been brushed, and fed, and they have the saddles on them that you guys had and stuff. So she says, "Yeah, don't leave them this time. Or if you do, I mean, give them to somebody who's gonna treat them right."
Mm-hmm.
She kind of you guys take the kind of reins of each of them. And you kind of start walking away, and you just hear behind you as she's kind of shutting the gate and kind of walking back. She's like, "Fucking adventures."
Fair enough.
So, you now have your horses back.
I'm gonna eventually cast Speak with Animals.
How long does that take?
It takes 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Spend 10 minutes. You take 10 minutes. Are you talking to your horse, or are you talking to all the horses?
Talking to my horse.
Okay.
Hi. I'm sorry if you were left somewhere, but what's your name?
It's just staring at you.
Do you like this, or should I stop?
I'm gonna stop. I'm sorry. Eliana's like, what did I do?
Hey, bud, why the long face?
And
Okay, I'm gonna go.
you hear like a from the horse you're next to you.
Does
one
anyone
that I
else
have.
want to talk to me? Like to the other one.
So Stella was in the box when we were traveling before.
That's not surprising. Anyway, you were saying?
Does she get on the horse? Like sit on its butt?
Hey, Stella, do you know how to ride a horse?
She kind of hangs over your shoulder.
Oh my gosh.
She would devour Eliana because Eliana's tiny.
Also the size of a normal fox.
Right. Foxes aren't itty bitty.
Did we ever determine whether she can shrink or not? Because she did it
I
in
don't
the
think we
caves
have.
that one time, and then we were like, we're gonna look into that, and then we.
We haven't figured that out. So essentially she can just kind of
Oh, but
lay in your kind of on your
Oh.
lap or something.
oh, baby. horses.
I feel like if she ran alongside the horses or was like walking,
She'd
it'd be
get
like,
tired.
dangerous.
Get tired.
Yeah.
And dangerous. These horses are a lot bigger.
What Ira's mounted her horse.
Okay.
None of their horses want to talk to me.
I picture, so she's in the saddle on the horse. Oh, go ahead.
I think contextually, they're probably a little pissed.
Yeah, I know. I tried to say sorry. Do you guys want some oats? Okay, well, I'll get you some oats later, maybe. Yeah, I'll get you. Hey! Oh, what was your name? I'm looking for the halfling lady.
You guys have like already walked away.
No! Can I get like a horse brush? To brush the horses.
We're already gone.
Yeah, you guys are already gone.
What horse did I get?
We didn't when we
never,
did this.
like,
We didn't
fully
do all
went
that
through of what they look like. what they
because
are.
we were going.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it. Got it.
I'll figure it out.
But I picture Ira's on a horse, right? And you know how all your has this little chainmail now?
Yeah.
He's sitting like right behind the pommel of the saddle, just like with his paws on the pommel, just like.
Good guy.
I feel like he's like bouncing like a lot, like because it's like prodding.
He's doing his best to stay put, but he's just like,
his little butts bounce.
yeah.
Sable is yapping to that horse. Just straight yapping.
Just like talking to the horse.
about everything. Like, have you ever seen the sky when it glows this certain color? Things like that.
But do you have two animals?
No. But she's rubbing the neck as she's riding and like, man, I wonder if I was a worm.
Would you like me if I was a worm?
God.
Eliana would, Ali G would not. I just had to say that. I don't like worms.
Okay.
All right. Valid? Valid?
All right.
I'm gonna
More you know.
I'm gonna make it up to you guys. I promise. Whatever you need from me.
I'm still talking to my horse.
And you just hear, you fucking pet her.
Dang.
Do all the horses like echo that sentiment to her? Because they speak with animals, so.
You hear like a lot of like grunting, like kind of like.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't there.
It's so funny. She's getting the brunt of it. She was the one that was unconscious.
It's because I can hear what they're saying. Okay. I guess we're just gonna ride, guys. You keep going.
They like side eyes you like.
Because they have their eyes are just like.
Oh, do they have blinders on?
No.
Okay. I
But
wasn't
she's just
sure.
like
Okay.
it's because they're on the sides of
Because
their
they're on
heads.
the
Like so, you are just riding out of the city. Is that what's happening? There's nothing else that you wanted to do before you leave.
We're
No.
definitely forgetting something, but you know.
Somebody is.
I took Stella with me. On
You
the plane.
legitimately asked
No.
me separately about something you wanted to do, and if you don't remember it, that's on you.
Let me check Discord messages. Literally.
Well, we're just gonna head on out of Luer then. Go take backseas.
Oh, right.
Oh, right. Yes. About that.
Down.
At any rate,
Hold on. I'm stalling for as long as I can. Gotta hurry.
I'm just gonna wait before I do.
okay.
I'm gonna wait until nighttime.
After you've left any
You
sort
gonna
of
murder us?
civilization.
There's something else I'm forgetting. Hold on. Because the only things I'm looking at can happen at any point.
This is like my memory.
The conversation you wanted to have.
There's a couple of conversations I wanted to have.
If you don't remember, I guess it wasn't that important.
Mm. Damn.
And we're going out of the air. Hey, it happens when it happens.
I'm breathing in the swamp. All around
Oh, the
us.
swamp,
I picture Eliana's hair.
the frizz of the
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are essentially you're riding out of kind of the where. From what you guesstimate on the map, it's going to take about like 2 full like days to get to Swamp Tree from where you are. Given that after like kind of going through the shopping and stuff like that, this is kind of very early to mid-afternoon, and you are heading out into kind of the wilderness of Bogmarsh. The path is familiar because essentially it's kind of very similar to the way that you guys had came like into Luare from Rivermire. But as you're coming back, there's kind of like this fork, essentially like the pathway that you do remember from going to or coming from Rivermire to there. And then there's the path that kind of like where it would have dipped to kind of head over like to Swamp Tree. It's kind of essentially like a lot of the paths that you've seen so far, as well as what you're seeing now, is they've kind of cultivated these paths and roadways, or like I say roadways, but like footpaths through Bogmarsh, essentially by like moving a lot of like dirt inward, so that way it like doesn't get there's a lot of like some gravel, stone, things like that, so that the wetness of the marshes and tides and things don't change the composition of the roads. So that kind of makes carts and things able to be traveled and stuff. So for you guys travel for, I wanted to say, since the horses are pretty well rested, they were chilling at this stable. You guys travel for about a good 8 hours. To the point where it is essentially you're getting into the like late hours of the night. It's now very much the like 10 o'clock hour, so to speak, of the evening. And essentially they get a little tired. It's nighttime, it's middle of the night. So you guys do need to set rest for camp.
How, like, are there like a bunch of trees around, or is it?
Yeah, can we tie the horses up?
There's. You want to put them in the box?
I mean, I'd be happier because it would tailor to their needs.
It's true, but how are you gonna fit it? If it's the size of a pencil box, it's gonna be a real.
It's a magical box.
Yeah, I don't know if we found it out that's that magical. You've put things that are about the same size, relatively so, more in there, aside from yourselves. A horse size? You're gonna need to roll for that one.
I didn't capture the S on that.
And I just realized now the way I worded all of that. I'm going to pivot. Anyway.
Do we want to, trees?
So there's like a tree clearing, essentially enough for where like you can kind of dig stable ground. It's not like marshy and stuff, so you guys can set up and make camp and stuff. Essentially, like over time, there are some patches like that where like tree branches and things would fall, and it would kind of condense and like kind of cloister into the like the murk in the waters and stuff to make kind of like sideways and stuff, like shoulders. I should say.
Like the music.
Hey, guys.
Is it ominous?
Scary. So I've done this before.
Can we focus? Jeez.
I did this before with Dawn. And I did this the other night. But did you want me to like make hammocks like up in the trees so we're not like sitting on the ground, like away from predators?
I swear to Christ, if this is the spider thing over again, I'm gonna be so mad.
No, I was gonna use like bed sheets and shit, like bedrolls.
The great spider debate.
Like in Hop Out Hills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just minus the wolves, hopefully.
The dice decide that. Not
They do.
You.
They do.
I'm gonna,
I did not choose that.
I'm gonna start climbing up. I'm gonna be wrapped in a rope and making a hammock.
I think Ira watches Eliana and then just like mimics what you're doing to make her own hammock.
I'd like to think that you don't notice this because obviously this isn't like a video game, but what would happen like in the side, like upper left of the screen, the horses will remember this. Because you guys essentially are going up to keep yourselves safe, but leaving the horses down.
Oh, I don't think Ira gets too high.
Yeah.
She's not like, she's getting high enough where she can like basically put a foot on the tree and then lift herself in.
Yeah. Okay.
Not like 20 feet up. But the
Probably-
horses
I'm-
are tied off.
I'm putting mine about 10 feet up.
Okay.
So the ground.
Mm-hmm.
The ground.
The ground. It's like solid. It's not like
Yes.
marshy.
So you're not gonna like
Yeah.
sink into the mud. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd say if like you go too far out, you probably might hit some like really, really wet patches. But you know,
Verity's just gonna sleep on the ground.
sleeping on the ground.
And I would think that like before Ira goes to bed, like she would make like a fire or like work with Jax to like build a fire.
Okay.
Where's the fire?
Probably like in like a central area of this.
So just to be clear, right, and those of you that are deciding to sleep in the trees, the temperature in this part of it's still like warm and murky, but now that the sun has set, still a little bit. Definitely there's a chill in the air. It's probably about a high of between 45 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit because it's again, you guys are essentially in autumn. So,
At this point, it's late autumn.
yeah, essentially like very late, almost like late October, mid-October maybe. So essentially the two moons in the air are at the lumen is at a waxing crescent fading, and the Dendia is kind of like a last quarter faded. And there are a few clouds, so it kind of essentially like passes by, and you can kind of see the moons in amidst the stars and stuff. So just bundled up in the trees, you know, wear some layers, blankets, things like that. But you successfully curl up next, you know, kind of choose where you guys are going to sit and who's going to do the watches.
Well, before we go to bed, I'm gonna, we're gonna have dinner.
Yeah. Okay.
I feed Stella her berries, and I try to give the horses some like hay and shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll for persuasion.
Okay. Do I have to roll for my 19 plus 2? 21. I had to do the math real quick.
You essentially you kind of lay out this hay and oat mixture and stuff, and they kind of walk up and they're like eat it, and they just kind of all right.
Ira tosses you a apple that's been cut up into 5 pieces.
Okay.
It's not much, but it's just
They're already cut up and you throw them and they scatter as I'm trying to catch.
sure. I could walk over and probably hand them to you so they don't get dirt on them.
Do you not want to feed the horses? I can feed them, but
Looks like you're the one trying to repair the relationship.
okay.
I don't want to take that from
You're
you.
the horse ambassador.
Open hand, Eliana. Open hand. Fingers flat, fingers flat, fingers flat. They're going to bite your fingers off. There you go.
We didn't really deal a lot with horses in the
I can tell.
world.
I can tell. Keep your fingers flat. There you go.
And the horse almost not without its without its teeth, right?
Yeah.
Just kind of does it's slobbery almost on purpose as it takes the thing, so you get this slimy as
Who's
they each
next?
takes the-
Just offering them up.
Yep, so you feed the horses each a piece of apple.
Yes.
Does it help?
I mean,
Does anyone have journals or a paper scrolls? Does anyone have anything I could write on or draw on? If not, that's okay. I probably should have got some earlier. It's okay.
Question.
Mhm.
Can I tear a page out of my diary and give it to her?
the diary or is it the
Certainly
book?
try.
Diary.
Yeah,
Just blank page.
yeah.
Just that.
Well, thank you.
I had to specify for a reason.
Yeah.
Before I'm
Yeah, gasp.
before I'm in
poison?
the hammock. Well, I guess I'll do it in the hammock. Fuck it. Why not? I'm
Okay.
gonna start sketching the sky, trying to make a little a star map for Bogmar.
We are in a swamp, which means there's usually a lot of trees and
Yeah.
tree cover.
I'm gonna map what I can see.
You
Probably
guys
not
are
a
in
lot,
a forest, yeah.
but
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some like clearings.
Dude, wait. I turned into a bird.
How you gonna write?
How draw?
No, I'm gonna go up to the tippy top of the tree, so I don't have to climb it. I can just fly up to it.
Okay, and then you're gonna turn
And
back
then I'm
to
gonna
Eliana?
I'm gonna find like a stable place to like sit on up there.
Make an athletics check.
Can I make acrobatics check?
Sure.
Okay.
I meant
19.
19. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna perch up there with a drum and star map.
Okay.
This is a work in progress.
As you draw, give me a performance check.
Okay. $15.
15.
I'm rolling good.
It's half decent. Yeah.
Okay. Kicking my legs.
Okay. How long do you
Having
do
a
that
good
for?
time. 2 hours.
Okay. So, by order of elimination, unless you're going to stay up as well,
Yeah,
Eliana's taking the first watch.
Okay, that's fine.
Because 8, 8, and 8. So essentially it's kind of between the two of you, unless
Mhm.
we take a point of exhaustion. So,
Did we agree that Eliana was going to keep an eye out for down below?
that was not
He's
conversed.
like, I'm not really looking.
She just went straight up as a bird. Didn't say nothing to nobody. Took a piece of paper from Verity and said, that's why communication is key.
All right.
It's almost like what's going to happen later is off to such a great start. I'm
No.
so excited.
We can wing it. Doesn't need to.
Because she's a bird.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've learned one from you.
Yeah.
Verity
I
can
learned,
take 2
I learned it
hours.
from watching you.
From watching you.
Verity can watch for 2 hours.
Yeah, technically.
Okay.
We could split 2 hours. I got my blankie, my lantern.
Yeah, because technically we only need 6 hours of sleep and like 2 hours of light work.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay. So you guys doing 1 hour, 1 hour, or just 2 hours? So she's going to do 2 hours. You're going to do 2 hours?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll take the last leg, I guess.
Okay.
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 That's fine.
Go ahead and roll for that first watch. And I'm going to get... You guys are going to roll... So roll for perception for your watch. You, being as high as you are, you're going to roll with advantage.
Okay.
16.
16.
Any aerial people coming?
Well, you have a vantage point so you can see if people are on approach, like with lights or...
Do I need to roll?
No, you're asleep.
21.
21.
I got
your
a
first
28.
28.
I got 19 plus 9.
19 plus 9. So 28, 21, and
16.
16. So, I mean, essentially without fail, there is kind of no issues. It kind of seems like a pretty low-key night. I mean, you guys are about a good distance away from Luware, but it seems like a well-traveled path, so a lot of animals and things like that wouldn't necessarily kind of like make their way towards it, at least not within these hours. Okay.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
During my 2 hours watch,
Mm-hmm.
can I cast sending?
Sure.
Or use the sending stone, not cast sending?
I was like, I didn't know warlocks got that.
No, I sadly do not.
Not unless they're magic adept. Even then, I don't think it's on that list.
I hate this so much. Why do I hate this so much? Okay.
Do it. Do it.
I need to talk to you. Things are getting hard. I don't want to go through this alone again. How can we have this conversation?
Okay. So you send that out. And a bit of time passes, right? Given the hour and things.
It's like, it's 2 a.m., bro.
Not the you up text.
No, he's a
We're on the
vampire.
same wavelength. Wait, you're right. He is a vampire. He would be up at these hours. You're so right.
This is like
Yeah,
mid-afternoon for him.
Yeah, it's like yeah. It was just funny. So you get back. Oh, how can I help? I don't know how to have this conversation. I'm not that magically inclined. If you have any suggestions, I'm open to try.
You have to go to bed.
That's it.
Yeah, I
that's
can't.
it.
I can't respond to that.
That's it for now. So again, the watch goes off without a fail. You, after the 2 hours, 2 and 2 essentially. So it goes like 2 hours of your watch. You don't see anything with the 28, and then the 2 hour, the 2 hours for you guys. That kind of sums up the 4.
Technically, I could like.
Hey, look, it's the end of the watch, guys. Look at that music transition. That was great timing.
Whoa.
Technically, I could like do my thing for 2 hours, then go meditate, and then do another 2 hour watch at the end.
True.
You don't need to, though.
Then, yeah. I guess.
So, Ira wakes up, takes the last leg of the race. Go ahead and roll for perception.
19.
19.
Yay.
Again, seems like a pretty low-key night.
Thank God.
So, after a decent, you guys each all getting a full long rest's worth of sleep, the humid, sticky air of the sun as it kind of begins to peek up over and kind of hits daybreak as you all kind of rise to the next morning.
Like my hair is like.
It's like stuck up like one side, like as though you were like.
God, it's human. Oh, wow. Morning.
Good morning.
Guys, Sable's not used to camping.
I like glamping.
I stay in inns outside. No.
I had my lantern and my blankie. I was good to go.
Yes, I'm gonna start some morning tea to get us started off.
Okay.
What's a good morning tea? This is some rosemary.
Just like a black tea
Okay.
with some orange peel.
You can use some of the lion's tooth.
No.
Do you want some of my
If it
stuff?
has healing properties, it could be boosting, revigorating.
I don't think you would do that. Amp us up before. Give us a bonus to our. Give us temp HP. I don't think you would do that.
I give us peppermint to give us a pep talk. Just make some, I guess, some black tea.
Okay.
Just
So you
some
make some
guys.
tea.
Verity, are you awake?
Yeah.
The way you looked up, you were like, yes.
Sorry, I was
Yes, I am.
Verity's studying the map to see and think if there's any services to the area we're going. So she's like half, like,
Can I tell if she's okay? I have a passive 18.
I mean, that's for you to decide, I guess, as far as your vibe check.
I feel like Verity's just being Verity, and she's fidgeting and being skittish like she normally is.
I don't know
Maybe
you're
it-
normal.
Yeah, she doesn't know you that well.
Let me think back. I would say in this moment, like, very, like, focus on the map and trying to, like, eyes darting back and forth a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
She looks like she's thinking really hard.
Hey, are you okay?
Okay.
Huh? What?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what to do when we get places.
Okay, just checking in.
Okay.
Life is short. Make it a good one.
Whoa. Have you been to? Maybe for you. No, I didn't say that.
Freaking
Have
elves,
you?
man.
Have you ever?
Freaking elves.
Have you ever been to Swamp Tree?
This is the first time I've been on the continent, so no.
Oh. Why did I think she was from Rivermire? She's not from Rivermire. We're from Bevel.
Yes.
I didn't say that then. Never mind. Ignore me.
You can.
My brain's
Run
getting
it back.
confused.
Chronomancy.
I'm assuming no one's been to Swamp Tree before. We're kind of just going in the dark. Well, I mean, once we eat breakfast, I kind of had an idea. What? What's happening?
Because, I mean, have you even told them where you're from?
No.
No, then it's not right now.
Okay.
Keep going.
I don't know if you'd be up for this idea. My horse would have to kind of just follow along with other horses, but I was thinking maybe if we wanted to try it, I could try going into the box today with my gardening kit. I could try setting up some gardening stuff. I just didn't really have the tools to do it that one time, and there's been a lot happening.
Have you purchased the tools that you need?
Yeah,
All of them?
yeah.
Like a hoe and like
I
all that?
purchased a gardening kit.
Oh.
Yeah. Like a lot of sessions ago.
In Bevel.
You did, yeah. Yeah.
I just haven't gotten around to it.
I mean, we can try, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know if I want Stella to go in the box, though, because she just accuses me of just looking her in the box, never letting her out ever again.
Oh.
That didn't happen, by the way. For posterity's sake.
Well, she's safe in there, so I get it. We get into a lot of problems.
Explain that
sometimes.
to her.
Yeah.
You know.
I kind of want to have a conversation with her just because, like, I don't know a lot about her. Like, I don't know where she's from or if she has family. I haven't
Then
really
take
had
her
the
in
chance
with you and then have a chat with her while you're doing your gardening.
Could, yeah. Okay. Well, if she's in there, I'm wondering how it'll affect the environment with me and her in there.
We can do a test.
Okay. I'm gonna. Hey, Stella. We're gonna go back in the box today, but I'm gonna go with you. Okay. I'll cover some berries. I'll eat some breakfast.
Okay.
I'm going in the
Ira's
box.
gonna go get, while she's eating, she's gonna go to Eliana's horse she's been riding, pull it up next to hers, and just kind of tie its reins off with her horse.
Where you guys head out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you try to go in the box.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
Okay.
You're going to roll it with disadvantage
Oh.
because,
Well, you did it last time. Last time you went in the box, it was with disadvantage.
Oh.
well, then you're going to roll 3 d20s and you're going to take the lower of all 3 of them because the box is cracked now, and this was cracked after.
You said that was just superficial. So I'm gonna stop using it and just throw it away if it's not any good. We can't keep it. Can't keep the animal safe.
As far as putting a humanoid in it, a little different.
That is a 17.
Of the 3?
Yeah, I rolled a 17, an 8, and a 10, and I have a +9 to Arcana. I don't know how the fuck I have a +9 to Arcana, but I'll take it. I don't... Yeah.
So 17 plus 9 is 20.
Oh, no.
6.
8 plus 9 is 17.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So 8 plus 9 is
The total is
17.
17, yeah.
Total is 17. Stella goes in, but you do not.
Oh, I gotta. Here, let me try this one more time.
I'm gonna turn into a bird.
Okay.
I'm gonna go into the box.
Roll 3 more.
Okay. I'm small now. damn it. That's 11.
Like walking into a wall. Like pecking at it with your
Yeah.
beak and it's not doing anything.
Like a woodpecker trying to like get in.
I'm Ileana again. Man. We gotta figure out this box.
Can you get Stella out before she loses her mind?
Yeah.
And I get accused of animal
I'll
cruelty.
peek my mouth and they'll be, hey, Stella, you can't get in. You can come on out, girly.
She's like, whew, it comes out.
Well, we'll figure it out. I got in there once. We'll figure it out again.
Okay. Eric goes over and like unties Ileana's horse from hers
I'm gonna brush the horse.
and hands her the reins.
Okay. So you guys get back on the horses and head out?
Yeah.
I named my horse Jerome.
Jerome.
Okay. Your horse is a girl horse, but that works.
Yeah, her name is Jerome.
Okay. I think it's funny. So after about 2 hours worth of riding, you come to a clearing in the road, essentially kind of tangential. So you can essentially keep riding, but you see this kind of like off-shooting path that leads to like a larger, like big clearing. Essentially, it looks like a lot of like the moss-choked canopies, and there's a lot of like fog that is essentially kind of sitting around this like clearing, and you feel this like in the ground.
Oh no.
Essentially, like it doesn't seem like anything dangerous, or essentially it just feels like something, it almost as if like the nature itself is alive. You of all people, especially Ileana, would feel like a little bit of a different connection, and you see kind of just like a little bit past this fog is the opening to something.
I thought you were gonna say a fake crossroads. I was like, what?
Essentially, it's like
Another
it looks
one?
as if it's like a cave entrance or something like that. Because this is like kind of through this clearing. This is kind of like where the forest edge is. There's like a little bit of like some mountain-y kind of like areas like at the end of this forest, and there is like a kind of like an entrance inside of.
Guys, I'm sensing an aura. Sensing some energies. We want to stop. Where are we? Verity, are you navigating us?
I can.
Are we? Is that? There's an entrance over here. Is there like a
Girl, pause.
what?
Is it good energy or like negative
It's
energy?
not bad energy. It's
Are
not
you like
threatening.
1,000%?
How do you classify bad energy? Because you like vibe with the dead, and I'm trying to figure out if bad is good or good is
That
bad.
isn't a bad thing.
Give me an. I'm gonna have you roll a straight d20, and then I'm gonna tell you what to add after that. Because of your druidic and eladrin in nature.
11.
Now add Arcana and nature to this.
Ooh.
What does she add?
Arcana and
lot.
nature.
29.
29.
They're both +9.
You sense something ancient, like sentient memory. Not divine, not demonic, but something older than names. Slumbering in the soil, long forgotten by the surface world. You sense like it's kind of seeping out of this like clearing of the forest, because you guys are still kind of on the path. You haven't kind of approached it yet. It feels as if like as you kind of like try to get closer to like look before entering, feels like the air is a little bit thicker in that area. Yeah.
I would like to detect magic.
Okay.
I have one daily use that's not a spellcast, so I'm going to use that.
Mm-hmm. Nothing.
Ooh.
It's pulsing, but there's no magic.
Mm-hmm.
Can I take out my spy glass and see if I can see anything with my spyglass?
Yeah. So you take this out and you look in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this blinding kind of goldish yellow light. It's as if you're looking at the sun itself.
Oh, God!
Are you okay?
It hurt my eyes. Oh, whoa, there's a lot of something going on over there.
But it's not magic.
Is it a
It's not?
Not that you can detect.
Is it something we need to take a look at, or?
Well, now I'm curious. I want to look at it.
Only if there's a safe place to secure the horses.
No, okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
did pinky promise.
We
Okay.
will secure the horses.
So you go into this clearing.
Yeah.
The air indeed is thicker in this area as you kind of like go through this like misty kind of fog. The ground beneath your guys' feet gradually changes from like this mossy peat to a flat, soundless shale. It's as if your footsteps don't make any noise whatsoever as you kind of approach, even the clacks of the hooves. As you approach this like area where there's like that kind of like, again, like a mountainside, there is very much so a clearing of trees, and there is an entrance that looks as if there's like a stone kind of wall sealing it. And on there is 6 bronze plates, each etched with a different emotion. That of mercy, wrath, regret, joy, hunger, and silence. And etched in the middle of all these plates, it says, the outward-facing mirror, when peering inside, what does thou see?
Sable casts Death Ward on herself.
Fair enough. That was a lot of information.
And at that point, Yura's going to attune to the Guardian Shield. So her AC is now 20.
Can you... Remember, it's too big to wear. We decided that you needed to get something to shrink the cuff of it down so that it can fit on you. Because it's essentially was on a Warforged, so its size...
I thought it already shrunk down.
You remember we talked about you having to go find somebody to kind of to modify it.
Nope. No memory of that.
Well,
Yeah.
Would have been great to have been reminded of that, but cool.
I said that where you had to like get something to fit it to you, or find like a smith to do that.
What were the... How many bronze plates were there?
6,
6 bronze plates. Okay.
each etched with a different emotion: mercy, wrath, regret, joy, hunger, and silence.
Don't mind me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 of them.
Can you repeat one more time?
Mercy, wrath, regret, joy,
Joy.
hunger, and silence.
Thank you.
I don't like this.
And then on the inside, like inscribed amidst these plates, it says, the outward facing mirror, when peering inside, what does thou see?
The outward facing mirror. It seems oddly specific. Not just a mirror, an outward facing mirror. So is it facing out from yourself? But it says inwards.
Do you say this out loud?
Yeah.
Maybe how we view ourselves?
Should we go inside and find out?
Can we go in?
No, so
I was
this
like, I think
entrance
they're
is
blocked.
sealed with
Yeah.
this wall.
Oh, well, looks like they're closed.
Sorry, Dan, we're gonna go. We're just gonna leave.
You can certainly try.
Every time we screw with fate, is there a safe place to secure the horses?
Yes, there are trees around this clearing.
We secure the horses.
Okay.
Verity.
I'm
gonna
gonna
make it
leave
clear.
them with some hay just in case.
Okay.
Verity's gonna approach the plates,
Mm-hmm.
and she's gonna touch regret.
Okay. As you lay your hand like on the plate, you hear like it like illuminates this like greenish kind of like hue.
Oh.
It kind of like it almost like fills in like the lines of this like plate and it glows.
Wrath was one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ira's gonna put her hand on Wrath.
Okay. And as you do, it kind of like it's like blue kind of like energy kind of like fills the.
They're they're different colors. I'm gonna touch Mercy.
Okay. As you do, it kind of like it's like this like kind of golden rod, kind of almost like orange, like fills it in.
Fire's going in the box.
Okay.
Stella touches Joy. No.
Jax walks up and touches silence,
Oh.
and then it kind of illuminates this like purple as it kind of goes. So the only ones that are not being touched right now are, I want to say, joy and hunger.
Yeah. Sable's gonna touch Joy.
Okay. And it like illuminates this like reddish color. Sorry, I have like figuring out what colors I didn't say.
What color was Silence?
That silence was purple.
Thank you.
Silence was purple. Joy was red. Regret was
Green.
like
Green.
green. No, you touched regret, right?
No, I touched Wrath.
Green. Yours was blue,
Wrath,
and then
yeah.
yours was orange.
Um,
And then as
sorry.
you all are kind of now touching this at the same time, you see these like plates kind of slide back in, like go away from your hand, so it doesn't like consume your hand. It just kind of goes in, and you see it almost like kind of the stone itself like rotates, like, and it like as it does, the wall itself kind of like swings upward into the mountain, revealing a opening for you to enter.
Why
Ira's,
does
So
this
choose.
feel like a sort of trial?
Ira's gonna walk past Eliana and be like, I swear to God, if I die.
Okay.
Or, I swear to Nylea if I die. There it is.
Yes. What color did it do it when Sable touched?
Red.
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 I'm writing all of these down. Even if it doesn't matter.
Verity's gonna cast False Life.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
I wonder who.
Sorry if y'all see this.
There's only 5 of us. I'm wondering what
Who was
hunger would
Hunger?
have done.
Are we going in?
Yeah. Are you going
Yeah.
in?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Okay. So as you all enter in, all 5 of you, essentially you walk in,
Yeah.
the door closes behind you.
I hope the horses stay okay.
I gave them some extra hay. Just
Okay.
in case.
Does any of you have dark vision?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Verity has dark vision,
So does
and so does
Ira
Ira.
and Eliana.
and Eliana.
Ira does have a torch, so I think she'll light that and hand it to
Well,
Jax.
Jax kind of does like the cantrip of like produce flame with his hand. It's kind of like holding a torch in his hand.
Yeah, and Sable will do the cantrip of light, and she'll just light her clothes up so she can see.
Okay.
Little glow in the dark.
So as you enter, the temple kind of is going like inward. It's almost essentially, it's like you guys are walking down the walls, but the walls seem to kind of like rotate slowly. It's like, or like curve slowly, I should say. You guys you kind of go into this first room, and that's where we're gonna go to break. So we are going to touch on this after a break. We will see you guys soon. In the meantime,
Oh boy.
grab some snacks, get comfy, because it's about to get real.
Hello, Ali G here from Off the Beaten Quest. I just wanted to let you guys know that this month, for Pride Month, we are raising funds for the charity The Trevor Project. As a part of the LGBTQ plus community, I think The Trevor Project is doing a lot of great work because they are, first of all, the only suicide prevention hotline for LGBTQ individuals. The Trevor Project helps allocate research to certain things to help out the LGBTQ plus community. It helps us advocate for ourselves in legislation that helps control our rights, things like that. They also help educate people who may not necessarily be a part of the LGBTQ community, but have friends or family who are looking to just learn more about the community itself and how to advocate for the people they care about. The Trevor Project also has certain resources available on their website at all times, so if you ever have any questions, are unsure about what certain things mean, where you can find resources, you can go to their website and they link a whole bunch of different organizations. A lot of them are local and you can find particularly where you live and what kind of resources you have available to you as well. Throughout this month, Off the Beaten Quest is trying to raise $250 for the Trevor Project as small creators, and if we reach that goal, we would like to boost that as much as we can, so we rely on you guys for that support to come out and help the LGBTQ plus community. We will be fundraising throughout the entirety of June, so at any time throughout this month, you can throw in a donation our way. And if you cannot donate, you can look for resources on the Trevor Project site as well for how to advocate for those in the community as well. Thank you so much.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Well, now that you're here, just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us on this journey so far with us here at Off the Beaten Quest. You're going to start noticing a lot of new things on our Twitch channel now that we are affiliate. You will see a lot of cool emotes designed by our very own Caroline, as well as a lot of other things that we do have in the works. Definitely hit that follow button, or maybe even subscribe so we can bring you a lot more. And do remember, if you are an Amazon Prime member, you can use your 1 month free sub. If you're watching on YouTube, consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification button so the YouTube algorithm gods will share this video with a lot of other people like you. Thank you so much again.
My name is Ali Goodell, and I am part of the filmmaking team on this podcast. I play Eliana Silmare. She is an Eladrin elf druid. She actually comes from a family of druids, and she is originally from the Feywild. Her family worships a goddess named Florenia. This was her whole world, was Florenia, was learning about Florenia and the balance of nature and eliminating abominations and the balance of just the world in general. But then when her village was attacked, she ended up going to the material plane, and things were not as they originally seemed. She kind of realized that she was indoctrinated as a child, and so as of right now, her character is still kind of naive, but she's constantly learning about the world around her and trying to figure out what her place is in the world when she finds out her whole religion has basically been a lie. I think one thing specifically to Eliana is that throughout her experience on the material plane, she's been struggling with finding what is right and what's wrong, the truth to things. So her trying to formulate that balance and how she fits in life, I think, is very important to her character. And so seeing the way she interacts with her new goddess, Flossidus, and just the world around her is interesting to me. This cast of characters is definitely something. I feel like there is a lot of chaos, but usually that tends to happen in a lot of D&D campaigns. I feel especially with Dawn and Lukiel's shenanigans, things get a little crazy, and that can be really entertaining. And I also feel like there are some great emotional moments between characters as well. I think there's a great balance that people are gonna love. You can find us at Off the Beaten Quest on all podcast platforms, as well as Twitch and YouTube, and you can also find us on our social medias.
Hi, I'm Allie Fussell. I am doing all of the marketing, project management, keeping everyone on track to get Off the Beaten Quest out into the world.
I play level 8 paladin fighter Iratan. She is an unconventional paladin. When I built her, she's my first campaign character. When I built her like my favorite gaming characters. So she can kind of do a little bit of everything. She specializes with a longbow and 2 daggers, so she's pretty lethal at distance and up close. She also has a good bit of emotional stuff, which I think the audience can pick out pretty easily, where she loves her friends and her family deeply, but the way in which she does so is not always the way in which they are open to receiving. So she's having to learn and navigate a lot of that. She also has a companion that is a homebrew race called a hop owl. That's half rabbit, half owl. His name is Alyer. And is also in a relationship with an NPC that our DM / my husband created named Jax. So you'll get to hear all about that. So in the first few episodes, there are a lot of moments that are very interesting for Ira. One of them is a very special moment with Alyer where he has to make a choice on what his next steps will be. In addition to that, there's some pretty gnarly emotional turmoil that Ira navigates with one of her party members that I think will be interesting for everyone to hear and to listen to get some insight into her backstory. I think the audience is going to find someone in this cast that they relate to, whether it's someone that's just goofy and likes to have a good time, whether it's someone that's serious, that's trying to learn how to loosen up, or whether it's just someone that completely understands who they are and accepts themselves for that. While they might still feel like an outcast, they'll find a bit of themselves somewhere in this campaign and in this cast. You can find us on all major podcast streaming platforms, in addition to YouTube and Twitch, and all social media, which is linked in the caption right down here.
Hi, my name is Caroline Daher, and I am the in-house artist for the podcast. In the campaign, I play Sable Vale. She's a level 9 human grave cleric, and she is flirtatious and theatrical, and she really is just trying to live her life to the fullest, like consequences be darned. And something important for the listeners to know before kind of diving into Sable is that she has a different relationship with her deity, where her deity and her kind of communicate through her tarot cards and through like shuffling on their own and kind of shooting out into the universe like her opinions. When my character is introduced, I would kind of keep an eye out for right before it, where our DM kind of like hints at my entrance, because there are kind of like little secrets in there that he set up for everyone to realize later on when we rewatch the episodes. As far as this cast and characters, myself included, I really love 2000s rom-com movies, and if you picture the movie Mean Girls, where there's a cafeteria and there's a whole bunch of lunch tables, and each table has a different clique, a different group, this table that we're playing in kind of has a picked person from each group, and we just all mesh and blend together, and it's so seamless and so dynamic. You can find us here on all major podcasting platforms, as well as YouTube and Twitch, and check out our socials linked below.
Hello, my name is Sarah Matlack. I'm kind of a flex role, and so I kind of jump from task to task, just wherever people need me, I'm there. I play a red tiefling named Verity Belladonna. Verity is a rogue warlock, kind of in the trickster fiend area, which can make things quite interesting. Verity does have a mother and a little sister. Her mother is Ilma and her sister is Nadine. She also has the blue human eyes. One of the cool things about Verity is that she is showing as a tiefling, but her mother is actually human. And so one of the things that I wanted to make sure that we had for her character art and everything was that she had blue human eyes, just so we could have both representations of her father, who was a red tiefling, and her mother, who is human. We are a rowdy bunch, and I feel like with each character there is going to be someone you can connect to in a way. And that's another thing I love about this group is that you can find a way to connect to them. Whether it's through an emotion scene, whether it's just getting drunk at a tavern or climbing a tree. You just never know. Dreams can show someone your truest desires as well as your darkest fears. And so I would keep an eye out for those dreams and visions, because you might see them pop up every now and then throughout the series. You can find us on all major podcasting platforms, including our Twitch, YouTube, and other social medias.
My name is Justin Fussell. I am the game master for Off the Beaten Quest. Outside of being the game master, I do a lot of writing, world building, filmmaking. Me and my wife, we run Imagistorm Productions together. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun just incorporating a lot of the world building and writing that I do into this, building this campaign overall. It's been really interesting to kind of take the filmmaking background and kind of apply it to being a game master, because essentially a lot of like the players are the actors and you're setting scenes and you kind of just let them freeform in the space versus just any like preconceived dialogue. So it's a lot of fun just to kind of see, you put the situations in their hands and just kind of see what they come up with. I enjoy playing D&D with this group because they're like my found family. It's been, I love everybody that sits at this table. It's been a lot of fun to just be able to kind of build this world with them together. A lot of the way I incorporate this with a lot of the players and the story and stuff has been a lot of collaboration, seeing how their stories intertwine with what I have planned and vice versa. It's going to be a very interesting to see how the people receive everybody. Everybody's got its own different flair, and the way that this team is made up of very colorful characters, I think everybody's going to love them. They're going to find something to laugh with and have fun with, and it's going to be really good. In the campaign, I play a lot of the different NPCs, of course, but the main one that I play is Jax. He's a fighter monk druid, and he came from a tribe of changelings that existed in the Fey realm and kind of had some backstories with different things and different interconnected characters. He's become a love interest and boyfriend of Hira's character. And if you want to know more about Jax's backstory and kind of how it's interconnected with the whole story, you can always check out the prologue. I chose to do a homebrew setting versus an existing campaign just because it was something where I could kind of really just expand and create a universe. I wanted to have something that I can build upon. I honestly like to be able to throw twists and stuff at the players. I think that's the biggest thing I think is really fun. There's a lot of ideas of what's going to happen, where things are going to go. Just as much as they can improv in a setting, I can do the same, and it kind of allows for a lot of really good back and forth. Definitely, if you've checked the prologue, there are some things that happen in episode 62 that is a little bit of an Easter egg that even the players haven't figured out yet, which has been really nice. But it's going to come back around eventually, and it's going to be a really big aha moment. But I think that's one of the biggest things to look out for. It'll be a very blink and you'll miss it kind of moment. But other than that, just being really on the lookout for a lot of just the backstory and the things that how this is going to be building up to as we get into the next arc of the campaign. So they can find us on any of the major podcasting platforms, as well as our social medias and Twitch and our YouTube. All right, welcome back to Off the Beaten Quest. So, you all have entered this essentially cave of wonders, for lack of a better phrase. And the door had shut behind you. And now you enter and kind of proceed forward, and you've walked into the first chamber. You are now met with a wide open cavern of hanging cocoon-like husks, suspended from pale fungal cords that sway without wind. Each husk containing what looks like a dim silhouette, but not anything that you recognize.
Ira's double checking to make sure the doors are actually closed because she'd like to leave.
In the room is a pale amphibious humanoid, essentially blindfolded eyes. So essentially it's like kind of covering his eyes. Crown of antlers carved from peat. And he says, "Welcome, weary travelers. we are the ones who watched the others.
The others? Are you gonna hurt us in here?
Do you hurt yourselves?
I mean, that's a complicated question.
I think the jury's out on that one.
Anything? Shouldn't you be afraid of your fellow adventurers hurting you?
More so about us accidentally hurting other people. I wouldn't be afraid of them hurting me, I guess.
You're not afraid? Are you sure?
Should I be? You know something I don't know? You seem like you know something I don't know. I don't like that.
As you kind of step closer to this, like, blindfolded figure, kind of essentially just kind of getting closer to the room to, like, speak without kind of yelling across the room, you slowly kind of file into this room, and as you do, essentially there's, like, a lot of these, like, husks. As you file in, you see kind of to the sides of each of you, like a husk slowly descends down behind the next to you. And one by one, you turn and you see this husk kind of like hit the ground and kind of like bloom open. And inside, Verity, you see a version of yourself. Unfeeling, cold, one who thrives in the pact that they are in. Eliana, you see a version of yourself dedicated to Florenia, who stayed and died for her family instead of leaving the Feywild. Sable, you see a version of yourself that looks much older, aged, version of yourself who never grieved their family and stayed without discovering the tarot deck, staying as the owner of the shop. In Ira, you see a version of yourself in royal regalia, essentially diadem, tiara, essentially what looks to be the ruler of Port of Mar. Seems to be more vicious, hateful version of you that helped your brother kill your parents and take over the Port of Mar. And Jax, he's a version of himself where he stayed as a soldier for the tribe. No voice, body now scarred and deformed from the years of abuse. As you look upon these versions of yourselves, each of them look to you and say, "Why didn't you become me? Why are you better?" And they each say this all in your own voice. Obviously, Jax uses sign language, but
Do we see the other versions?
mm-hmm. You see all these other versions of the people that you've been traveling with for some time. And you hear them all kind of say this to each of you. Essentially, they're like kind of saying it almost in unison as they look upon you.
This just got really weird.
I'm going to have each of you respond to your reflection however you want. And your response will be allowed. And the rest of the people in this room will hear it.
Don't all go at once.
Verity will go first then.
Okay.
She'll kind of look to herself and say, That was a deep breath. Ruthlessness is placed in our hearts when our fears of the unknown are too great to bear. And that we must not show them that we are not, or we must show them that we are not the monsters that they see us to be.
Why does that make you better?
Because I do not wish to be the fear for others. And I do not wish ruthlessness to consume me.
And you see, as you do this, the Verity kind of like pulls a chain from underneath her, like kind of like lapel, and takes it off, hands you a necklace. It's a locket that says Maiko. Or Mako.
I forgive you.
And the blindfolded figure in the room says, you either take it, burn it, or you give it to another. Before you make your decision, who wants to go next?
Yes, I'll go next.
Okay.
I didn't become you because I had to stop the suffering at what I thought was the source. While I could support the people at home, ultimately I knew more suffering would entail if I didn't follow to eliminate the Lich.
And why are you better? Why are you better than me?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's subjective. I suppose I saved more people out on the material plane from further harm. And dealt with a goddess who was inflicting so much pain, which I would have never known back home.
Had your involvement not caused more pain?
Who's to say? There's no way for me to have known. Can't change the past. I can't see into the future.
And she hands you a small coin that has Florinia's visage on it. Who would like to go next? And again, actually, the same figure in the middle of the room says you need to take it, burn it, or to give it to another. Who would like to go next?
I can go. Are they like a physical body in front of you?
They
Okay.
look exactly like you, but essentially an alternate version of yourself.
Sable's gonna lean forward and put the hair, like tuck it behind the other Sable's ear. You're beautiful. I'm not any better than you. I just had a different fate than you, a different deciding factor. I'm no different than you. It's just alternate ways.
Why didn't you become me?
I found Caleth.
And why does that make you better?
It doesn't make me better, it just makes me different. You're perfect, just the way you are.
Why are you this reality?
I don't know. Is Mom and Dad dead in your reality?
Yes.
I guess I was just chosen. Maybe it was a flop. But it happened.
Did you mean flute?
Yeah,
Okay.
a flop.
She hands you the key to the flower shop. And the same thing. Figure in the middle says to take it, to burn it, to give it to another. Jax can go before you if you'd like.
No. Because I think while they're talking, Ira's probably truly impressed with the vision in front of her.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's going to start by asking a question. What hurt you so badly?
All she says is, why didn't you become me?
I sat with my anger long enough. And eventually she told me that her name was Grief.
Why are you better?
I decided to work through it. And I would assume that the things that you said that she's done, I would not know that. I wouldn't know that she's like partnered with her brother.
The part of this, essentially, when you see these like versions of yourself, there's a very psychic level of understanding of what this person essentially is. And like they are the version. There's a very distinct recognition for all of you that this is the path untaken. This is the other side of the crossroads in your life.
I think I'm closer to you than you realize. I think I'm better because of the people that I've chosen to surround myself with. And she kind of looks to either side of her and hesitating on Jax.
Okay.
And I take it you've never left.
And she hands you a ring with the Marian version of the Tan crest on it. And Jax looks at his version and says, chose to leave because it felt like the right thing to do. It felt like my time where I was over, and then I needed to forge a new path, whether it's with the people that I'm here with now or wherever else I ended up. I have a voice now. I can speak for myself. And I'm sad that you don't. And that your voice was never given to you, given the circumstances of everything, but my words matter. And what I do matters. It matters to the people in this room. It matters to me. I understood that I'm worth more than just a soldier in an army. And that makes me better because I chose to learn the truth. Sit with it. Accept it, understand it, and understand that I'm not going to sit in silence. Not anymore. And the version of Jax hands him a necklace that indicates it's from their tribe. That indicates that he, like, from what a sentry or like a soldier in that tribe would be, essentially kind of like status symbol. And again, just as it did to the rest of you, it says to take it is to burn it or to give it to another.
What are we giving someone if we choose to give it away?
The figure in the room says, to take it is to accept the potential of that version. To burn it is to reject that path completely. To give it to another is to share the burden or lesson of that self. And Jax takes the necklace and he puts it on.
Does the ring fit Ira?
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna put it on.
Okay.
Maybe Ali G doesn't quite understand the consequences and the weight of what's happening. I'm trying to decide what I want to do.
It's the understanding of who you've become versus who you could have.
Yeah.
To burn is to say, hell no, absolutely not. To keep is to accept that this was a potentiality that could have happened.
Yeah.
And then to give it away is to what? Share that burden?
Share the burden or the lesson of that self.
Yeah.
Sable's gonna put the key in her little bag where her tarot cards are.
Okay.
I don't think there's a lose in this situation.
I know, but I'm like, everyone's keeping them, and I'm like,
Burn it.
Verity's gonna turn to Eliana. A friend once told me sharing sadness is half the burden. Give to another.
want to trade these?
I'm gonna hold Eliana's hand if I can. Well,
Okay.
I give her the token.
Okay. As you do this, essentially the husk as behind the figure in the room, a part of the wall kind of descends before opening it up to the next passage.
Verity, I really don't know what that means for us, but we did something, so I'm proud of us.
can we hold hands when we go into the next part?
Yeah.
We go.
Okay. So you continue on into the next bit of...
That wasn't it.
I was like, that was nice and easy.
You must be new here.
Hey, that's just round one.
No.
Roll of 3.
A vertical you essentially kind of go through this next room, or the next set of it almost seems as if the hallways you're kind of continuing on are kind of continuously spiraling either downward or just adjacent, and you reach a vertical chamber in the next room where massive tangled roots form ladders and bridges between different tiers that kind of all circle the center. There's a petrified humanoid figure fused into these roots that is essentially living. You can feel this, especially as you feel this is where almost the pulsating almost feels like a heartbeat.
I thought it was cool, and then it got scary.
And the living roots are kind of like in like its bark rib cage, like a cabinet, revealing 5 seed-like hearts. In the there are essentially it's this room says it's like from the figure in the tree kind of acknowledges you as you enter, and it kind of like essentially the ribcage opens to reveal those seeds as you guys gotta get close, and it says, "Would you die to let the others live?"
Eliana is thinking back to her sister Lillian's words about how she can only do so much and like she can't sacrifice herself to save others, basically, in a sense. I don't remember the exact wording, but about like you can't save others if you can't save yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And she thinks about how she's been kind of anointed the star person for the circle of stars, and she's like, I don't know if I could.
So effectively saying no.
Yeah.
As you do, one of the seed hearts kind of almost like goes into the roots, and these roots that kind of surround this room, because essentially like the door again seals behind you. The roots that are kind of making up this entire room begin to slowly kind of tighten around all of you. But not enough, like a lot. It just essentially they kind of start slowly like moving inward as she says this.
I was just thinking more like the whole instead of like just 5 people.
You said what you said.
Yeah.
If it was my fate to die, like if that is what was supposed to happen, then of course I would die to save any of them.
Okay. The seed, the 4 seeds remain.
Ira is thinking back on what just happened, like the abduction and her blood being like almost being taken and all of that. And she's playing through that in that moment in her mind. She already has kind of thought about this. And while she did fight back, she remembers thinking that maybe if she did just stop and cave, that it would all be over for everyone and they would be safe. So her answer is yes.
Okay.
Verity thinks back to the battle with Thanatura, looks at Ira, and then back at the tree. I've always fought to die for those I care about, but recently I've learned that living for them is much more powerful. They can do so much more. No.
This table?
The roots slowly kind of move in a little bit more. And one of the seeds like burrows into the tree. And Jax looks at the 4 of you, essentially the divide that is essentially down the middle.
Who's gonna be the tiebreaker?
Leave it to the DM.
I've put myself on the line for essentially all of you at some point or another, minus the new additions and those we've lost and that have left. I've never thought about what would happen in the end. I guess it didn't really matter as long as I did everything that I could. And he looks at Ira. He says, I know that you'll effectively outlive me regardless, given all things considered. I guess it doesn't matter. So I would say yes. And the 3 seeds remain. Now, nothing happens. The room stays the same, where the roots have moved to, and you are effectively left in this room.
Is it like a jury? You have to convince them to come over to the other side?
That would be cool.
You both, it's 2 and 2.
No, it's 3-2.
Yeah. But it's ultimately however you decide you wanted to proceed. The tree asks again. Would you die to let the others live?
Verity, if your patron for some reason chose all 4 of us to die, do you really think you would do it? And Eliana, let's say you never realized that Thanatora or Flostis, I'm not really sure which one's the good or the bad, but what if you never found out that they were bad? Or what if you were bad? You wouldn't die to save everyone?
Well, I mean, on a larger scale, I would. But when it comes to... I mean, speaking if it was 5 against 1, maybe, but... Because it's hard to weigh the value of lives, and selfishly, I don't know if I could do that. There's kind of a lot on my shoulders right now to...
But didn't you do that already? We were all risking our necks to save you, whether we lived or died.
And Ira's, in her mind, the resentment for Eliana is growing because all she's hearing is self-importance.
And... I mean, you essentially fought back as each of us were slowly losing our consciousness, being brought back to stability. What if you had died? And that was it. We were all free to go. We were able to be released back to our bodies and able to continue on. But if you didn't, and you stayed fighting, and we all died there, I didn't have a way to bring Verity back to life. Flossidus never was left out of the cage to bring Dawn back.
Well, I can't thank you guys enough for coming to help me. But also, Thanatura was incredibly powerful. There was
if I would have sacrificed myself, she would still be out there, hurting millions of people.
But it's okay for us to sacrifice ourselves for you.
No. Either way is not an optimal situation.
So is it safe to say that, I mean, with what's going on with her, that if we get into a tough spot because of the weight on your shoulders, we're just going to be left? You're going to flee and run?
I'm not saying I'm not going to go down fighting.
Nobody says that if you die to let us live, you wouldn't go down fighting. No one says you would just roll over like a dog. That's not, I guess, not the question this tree is asking.
I guess that's kind of what I assumed was, would you sacrifice yourself?
Well, if you had, at any point, don't you think everyone would work a little harder to make sure that your dying wish was fulfilled because they love you? And it isn't, if it's just you versus the four of us, what makes your destiny and fate more important than Ira's or Jack's or Verity?
And I will say we are kind of like playing it on Eliana a little bit. Because Verity did also say the same thing. So I don't want it to just, I wanted to be like...
Verity's rationale wasn't pompous.
I wouldn't say Eliana's was pompous, though.
Was that in character or no? I don't think that was in character.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So you responded like it was in character.
I thought Ira was responding. That's why I said that.
Ira's not saying a damn thing. She has nothing constructive to say at the moment. She does to Verity, she does not to Eliana.
The thought of what Sable said about, like, don't you think they would fulfill your dying wish because they love you? And she's like, that's given her a lot of food for thought. I feel like Eliana has put so much pressure on herself now because a literal goddess was like, hey, you're in charge of the religion now. And she's like, I gotta do it please, Mom.
But I have some errands to run first, so...
I mean... just, these places are cryptic. I kind of took it as a, hey, give your life up right now.
That thought process makes sense. It really does. It's just that.
But I'm not saying I wouldn't fight for my friends if they were in danger. Like I said, it's kind of hard to...
Would you die to let others live?
And why won't you, Verity?
How it's worded
Yeah.
is tricky. Because I will fight for y'all. And the end goal is for all of us to live. And if I die trying, then that's it. But the end of the day, I'm fighting to live. And it's not really for me, it's for all of you. It's for my sister. It's for Amar. It's to live so that way we may all find a way in this world.
I mean, I think what it's saying is it's asking if you'd go down with the ship to let us get into the lifeboats.
Well, yeah. If that's the question, of course.
Yeah.
Both the seeds come back up into the tree.
We've never been good at puzzles, y'all. Like, here's my prayer. Never good at puzzles.
Ira's like, God fucking damn it, y'all are dense as hell.
But there is a new level of resentment
Yeah.
unlocked for Eliana.
Eliana's being a little selfish right now, yeah.
Okay. As you now have essentially evolved effectively, said just like the roots kind of back away a little bit more. And you see as you kind of effectively this like the door on the other side, like behind the tree, kind of like opens. And as you all kind of slowly kind of was, I would think kind of now kind of all slowly silent as how heavy that was.
Guys, what if we all said no? What would have happened? We were just stuck there forever.
As you cross around the back of the tree, you see all the way up the trunk are different sets of rib cages with beating hearts.
Hearts are still beating?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they're stuck and they're still having the argument.
No, these
Like their parties
these
are
are
still
effectively at different like heights, essentially like not in groups, giving the inference that had there been mixed answers and that was the outcome, one person would have been offered to transformation into a willing root. Their memories would stay, but their body would remain there.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, they're gonna have us fucking sacrifice one of us to get out of here if we don't fucking... That's why I was like, Eliana doesn't want to.
I was going to say, like, you did that kind of in your Eliana voice. And I was like, no,
No,
why do you talk like that? Jesus.
So, as you effectively kind of leave this room, you hear, like, very, very faintly, like, the different mufflings and, like, essentially, like, groans of people who are now fused to this tree. Different sets of voices, living beings that are left in indifference, I should say. And you continue down these winding sets of corridors as you come to this like level of like kind of almost like moisture and humidity kind of fills the room as you come to a open expanse. Essentially, it's this like large kind of like concave kind of room, and in the center is a shallow pool.
Kira thinks it's on.
God damn it.
And so you approach this pool and you look down into these waters. And now we're going to do something interesting because this puzzle is going to be a little different. So inside of this pool, you see distorted, like kind of symbolic, like shadows, something grotesque, sometimes heartbreakingly sincere. The fears of your companions and how they see you. And now we're going to go around, and I'm going to pick people to describe. You're going to describe the way the party views.
The party or our character?
Your character, excuse me.
Okay.
Views specific people in the party. And I'm going to encourage a level of emotional candor when it comes to this. Now.
I thought you were going to give us like fucking Rorschach pictures.
No. So. The look of terror on everyone's face.
Stressed.
We're on like opposite sides of the spectrum. We're like, this is gonna be fucking rough.
So Jax will start to give you a little bit of context and how this is going to work. As he looks into essentially you guys are all kind of almost like, I think in like a circle, kind of looking down into this pool, right? He sees Sable as a con artist, somebody who's using their fortune-telling abilities to potentially kind of hitch a ride on some type of adventure to seek thrills without any sort of weight or context and sees this stranger that he now has to fight for without any gravitas behind it. Now, Ira, you're going to describe Eliana.
We knew that was coming from the freight train. We're kind of hitting on it already. There's this seeming self-importance where self-importance, self-righteousness, that her decisions are the only right decisions, that if anyone else has anything that they've experienced that influences their decision-making, it doesn't matter. In her eyes, they are wrong. There is not a seek to understand, but a seek to cast judgment. And an unwillingness to truly try to understand the perspective of those that she's choosing to misunderstand.
And again, for a little bit more context, right? You essentially, each of you as a player, are facing these reflections. But because of the way we're having people describe this essentially is you're seeing a reflection of yourself based around, essentially
what I just said is what Eliana sees of Eliana.
Correct. Essentially, it takes the amalgamation of the worst kind of assumption that, in theory, some or all of the party would have about each person in this, kind of circle.
So it's not necessarily us, our fears of that person, but our conceptions, our worst conceptions.
Fears, if you're afraid that they're going to turn and put a knife in your back sometimes, things like that.
Also, just want to shout out that we are rock solid as friends, or else this would be
rough. Right.
I cry whenever I feel any type of emotion, so I would have been sobbing at the table if we weren't chill. Yeah.
Eliana.
Oh god, who's next? Okay.
Eliana is going to describe. I think I did this in the wrong order. Because I had it was supposed to go one way, that way.
Just go. The way it's supposed to go doesn't matter now.
So you're going to Verity is going to describe Jax. I'm going to skip you for a second.
Okay. I'm thinking.
And mindfully, these do not have to always necessarily be negative. It says distorted, symbolic shadows, sometimes grotesque, sometimes heartbreakingly sincere. And obviously that's not to... I'm just prefacing that with, as we go around the table, somebody doesn't have to always... Oh, it's got to be a bad thing.
I need to shit on your...
Which just means I'm not going to say I can't take it, but...
Verity looks and sees Jax as if she had a brother, it would be Jax. Just someone who is strong, isn't afraid to take a hit for those they care about, is quiet at times, but when they speak, it has a profound meaning behind it. And you know that they're weighing their words carefully and they're sincere. And they also just have a great sense of humor. And that's kind of what she sees in Jax, is that older brother kind of looking up but not going to admit it.
Eliana,
Hey.
you will describe Ira.
God, I thought it was gonna be Verity or Jax, and then you had Jax. Okay.
She's like, I didn't prepare this.
I gotta cook. Fuck.
Season that bad boy.
I'm like, what does Eliana think about Ira? I haven't thought. I feel like Ira sees a sort of almost like military trained in a way, unlike her other party members. Like, she feels like Ira is more like staunch and in a way like more sturdy at times. Like, she is like a natural, it feels like a leader, but also sometimes it seems like that leadership can be very brutal in ways that Eliana has not really expected, but lately that's come to the surface, and she's not sure how to feel about some decisions that have been made. She understands, like, I think she sees Ira as like a very like logical, like black and white almost, like a stringent leader in a way, which can be good and bad at some time.
Sable, you will describe Verity.
Okay. So, Sable, when thinking of Verity, definitely has like image pop-ups for her head. And it's going to be when she first met Verity. Verity was very open and generous, letting her share a room. It's going to kind of flash to when Eliana's mom wasn't very kind and how Verity went on a whole entire walk with Sable. It's going to then kind of show the knife going down towards the kid and the regret in Verity's eyes, which just humanizes or beingizes, or however it would be, her to Sable. So I guess a lot of the words would come to like generous, big-hearted, trying.
Okay.
So what I learned is Ira is the only bitch at the table.
Well, one wasn't technically super positive.
It's how she sees herself.
I had a lot of good things to say about everyone. Don't worry.
So, now I will ask each of you individually. Do you accept this reflection's right to exist? Or do you deny it?
Do we know, like, that it's someone else's, like, perspective of us? Or do we just see, like...
Well, I would like to think you see a version of yourself that either you don't agree with or aren't, or are a little bit surprised by. You're like, okay. There's a little bit of, like, taken backness. Essentially, it's not... Some of it could be how you see yourself. Some of it may be how you don't see yourself.
Is it a take it, burn it, or share it, or is it just the first two? Okay.
You've been given the information you've been given.
I think for Ira, what she saw isn't far off from how she views herself in any way. Especially, like, with the recent things that have happened in her head. She's closer to being like her brother than she realized. So this was for her hurt, but was a good reminder of like, we gotta tighten them reins back down, because nope. So I think she would like accept it.
Okay.
Verity, upon seeing this, I imagine is trying to hold back tears a little bit. Just because, especially with everything that's happened, she's seen herself as a monster. And then seeing that version of her, of the trying, trying to do better. And not sure whether or not that's coming across, or if they just see that monster. And Verity's going to accept it because she is trying her best.
Okay.
This take it or leave it thing is confusing the fuck out of my brain.
It doesn't get any more black or white.
I know, but but I feel like Eliana sees this and it scares her a little bit.
Okay.
Because in her mind, she's like trying to do what her goddess told her to do, and like you need to spread this and like make it known and continue on. But seeing this like self-righteousness and like almost self-absorption of like all importance, she doesn't want to be like that. So I don't take it.
Do you take it and learn from it and accept its potential and work on it?
Yeah, I want
Or
to do
you
that
not?
one.
Or do you not take it and you reject the concept and think that you are perfect and nothing is wrong with you?
I'm gonna try and take it to heart and like not go down that path, if that makes sense.
Do you accept it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't deny it. So I guess that means I accept it.
Okay.
Okay.
Jax has a very similar sentiment that Verity did of how he views himself and how he's being viewed, being perceived. It's this imposter syndrome of accepting it but doesn't necessarily believe it.
Sable doesn't like what she sees at all. And she almost like apologizes to the pool of water. Like, I really don't mean to be a burden. You know? But she accepts it.
And again, to be clear, right? First of all, it was only in character, not in real life, I promise you.
I'm crying in character.
Okay.
I'm crying in character.
I don't believe that by you at any means. But for a lot of it, right, especially from Jax's perspective, again, it's the lack of time, connection, fairly new people. And I think this exercise is interesting because I think each of you would have said something different about the people in this room. And given the ways you have all perceived each other in the different things that you all are going through as characters and as people in this world, that you've gained a level of perspective on each of yourselves and how you're viewed by everyone and how you want to be better, how you want to connect with, at least in a different way, with the group. And as you do, this kind of water slowly drains out of the pool, and below it, a spiral staircase opens through the water.
Suppose you go down it.
Go down.
You go into this staircase, kind of illuminated like bioluminescently, kind of as you kind of descend. And you see this kind of small kind of chamber like room, kind of slate stone bricks kind of making up the room, and you see this primordial kind of presence that's sitting, kind of almost connecting into the walls through roots. And you see, as you kind of step off the steps, you kind of see this like kind of visage, kind of like the whole room essentially turns into the forest that you had came from. And you see it is speaking through this kind of form, is kind of standing amidst the grass, almost looks kind of like a dryad in the midst of everything. And it's speaking to you in kind of like the mimicry of all of your thoughts.
Hate that.
In the different things that you all kind of have fears and thoughts of either yourselves or one another. It offers a chance to shed identity and become something vast and wordless, or to carry its seed into the world.
That's not where my mind went.
You guys, all right.
Is this alien or something?
That was me. I'm sorry. I triggered that. My bad.
God damn it. Now I know how Matt feels.
But for real, what seed?
Essentially, it's like carrying like a connection to this entity itself. I'm not gonna lie, this last part's a little vague. Essentially, the way it's communicating and how it's kind of giving you this like sense of choice is it's one of three choices. There's a blessing of oblivion, a blooming of unity, a fractured escape.
All of those sound equally bad.
Blossom of Unity sounds pretty
Yeah,
nice.
not the
The blessing of oblivion is where you can erase a traumatic memory, but it severs your bond with another player.
Nope.
The fractured escape is if you fail to reconcile or choose selflessly amidst all of this. You each will exit this cave alone. I will not tell you the rest of the circumstances of that. And the blooming of unity is if you hold true and fast to one another. Will gain a blooming of unity. And I will not go into detail on what the rest of it is. So there's either the choice of you can choose to forget the problems that you carry, but at the cost of a bond. You can fail to understand and it kind of almost is in a sense like talk about the perspective that you've learned from one another. Or you can stay true to the bonds that you've all forged and make them stronger.
Option 3, we just end the campaign. We're like, hey guys, we're all split off alone now. We gotta go. We're all fucking separate.
There are more aspects to the last two.
I think for us to make an informed decision, we need all of the data we could possibly get.
That's all you can infer from what it is talking to you about.
Just like wander around the room, like.
Look for more buttons.
Do you guys hear those voices too?
But essentially, the way that it's speaking to you is essentially everything that you all have just gone through in the last kind of 3 rooms. All the different thoughts, feelings, emotions that you had felt, despite all of the words being said, the way that you all have been seen or saw yourself through other people. And
Did we see other people's reflections or just our own?
so the reflection that was described, in theory, is what everyone else saw as well.
Okay.
Of yourselves. The good, the bad, all of it.
Does that help us infer who said what?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
I would like to.
I think that's the part of this portion of it is
You got to own up to your thoughts.
to own up to your thoughts.
Yeah.
And
Ira's like, let's vote this. Well, you'd be surprised. Does Sable cry?
in the other room like you did.
Like the
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
I think Ira would go over to her and just like wrap her up in a hug.
Aw.
Mhm.
Don't make me do it again.
Oh, why not? It's fun. It's not fun. And just let her know in as few words as possible that she's not and hasn't been her burden, and that she would not be here. Just randomly typing to keep herself from crying. That she would not be here if we did not all want her here.
And Jax will kind of see this like again, seeing the emotional response previously, and then kind of the way Ira's kind of consoling and stuff, and obviously, and I would think, right, the people who did describe the other players recognize their perspectives more so than the others would recognize like what they saw. And he says, he comes over to Sable and Ira and says to Sable, a lot of my feelings about you are from fear. I've lost a lot of people, seen a lot of people in this group come and go. And I lost the person that I care about. The person that I grew up with and was like a sister to me. And I'm afraid that there's an easy way for that feeling to exist again in you and other people. I'm afraid to get close. And so I don't think of you as like a burden or some tag along. It's because I'm afraid.
We could ride Jerome and get to know each other.
Okay.
Does Jackson Jerome
No, but I feel like he was just like, okay. Like, I'm accepting who you are and we're going to go with it. Like,
Who's Jerome?
Hey, Sable. And you're not, I don't think you're a calm person. I mean, you faked your accent, but sometimes that can just be, sometimes we're all a little silly.
Yeah, it sounded so cool in my head. But I guess, like, not a lot of people could understand me, so it's fine.
I mean, I do a stupid voice when I'm nervous too, so it's
Yeah?
fine.
Prove it.
I mean, what you want to know?
It's pretty good.
No, it's not.
It's pretty good. Are we out?
No.
No.
We're stuck
you're
in here?
still in this
stuck
same
Um,
space.
Is Eliana over there? Has she come over?
Yeah.
Ira is gonna take Eliana like by the shoulder.
Oh.
And like we're gonna take a few steps away
Okay.
because she doesn't feel like what she has to say needs to be broadcasted. So
Okay.
yeah. So
Hi.
just point blank period. Hard to travel with somebody that is a walking reflection of the main person on my hit list at the moment.
Man, I didn't like what I saw in that pool. I guess I just feel a lot of burden from a god telling me that I need to form a religion, and I just don't really know how to do that. And
So walking with your group of 4 others and casting your judgment like it's law is a good way to start a faith.
casting my judgment.
You didn't seek to understand why I told Verity to kill that boy. You didn't understand. You didn't ask any questions to see what I'd experienced, what I'd gone through. You just determined that it was the wrong call.
I guess that's just what my gut told me. When I see someone in peril, like kind of defenseless, it's hard for me to understand why, if someone's surrendering.
Did you know that he was for sure surrendering?
I mean,
You had the information of looking. You didn't ask what I'd been through.
I didn't.
And the data that I had said, go ahead and take him. Because what's to say he's not going to get out there and come for me later? Because I'm apparently an heir apparent of something. And I am important for whatever reason. And my blood is important for whatever reason. Which means they're not going to stop.
I guess it's... Not everything has to end in death.
Doesn't.
So... That's why I was so heated about what transpired.
You know, come to think of it, I haven't thought of any time that you've asked anyone any questions to understand. I get grilled. Jax gets grilled. Verity for sure gets grilled. That poor girl. She just wants to be cozy and read a good book.
I mean, when the whole thing with Verity was happening, I was trying to understand her whole relationship and how I could help. Because I've been through a similar kind of thing with Aarencia. I wanted to seek to understand how I could help her. I feel like I did.
So then what about me?
I will admit that I didn't consider a lot of what you went through down there. I was at first, and then everything got very out of control very fast. And my
Jax came through the ceiling. I don't know why that happened.
Yeah, I don't know how he didn't take any damage.
You just stop asking questions at some point. You just let it happen.
See, more not asking any questions. I don't know.
I guess, I apologize for not checking in on you more after what happened. I just feel a sense of duty to help those who are... he was a kid, so my instinct was to help out the kid. Ask questions first. Make a lethal call later if necessary.
I had something clever I was going to say and I forgot what it was.
What a fucking mood.
This isn't something for you to repair. Just something to let you know I haven't said before now. That walking through this journey with you specifically and knowing what you've been tasked with is a ticking time bomb for trauma that I haven't processed. This is an unrelated issue to the one we were just discussing. Due to what you, I am assuming, come to understand about my ever-loving brother and his need for whatever power he's clawing for.
Okay.
There are parallels. Except you have been justly asked to restart a religion, and you have been tasked with this the correct way.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
I don't know
But
what I'm doing.
It's such a razor thin edge. And
I'm trying to make sure it doesn't go bad like Thanatos
Him?
did. And him.
you know, that'd be cool to not wake up and have a... Because also, that was a problem when I met you, too. You were like this weird, super religious girl who'd never heard of potatoes.
Is that true? I don't remember.
No, I don't know. I was going to say cotton candy, but that's not in world, so I said potatoes. Boiled potatoes.
Yeah, I was really sheltered as a kid. Trying to undo the religious trauma. But I feel like I'm replacing it.
With real life trauma.
Yeah.
Because you have seen a couple people, like, you care about.
Yeah.
Just,
I don't think I've processed all that yet.
oh, that takes time. And to be honest, the more it happens, the easier it gets. You just learn to just shove
I
it
don't
down.
like that.
It just happens. It's part of it.
But I mean, Sable's right. I shouldn't put all the pressure on myself. I have friends I can rely on to help me, and
Why don't you divide it out? We've all... I cannot say that I will dedicate my life to philosophy.
I'm not asking you to do that. You already have your own god.
But I can assist you in the ways that I am capable of.
Thank you.
So you don't have to carry it on your... You can if you want.
And you hear the ways that we're capable of. Because the fun fact about this, and I haven't gotten into it yet, I'm just letting you guys riff. Even though you walked away, everybody heard everything.
The illusion of privacy is fine.
Oh, whoa.
She just didn't
Yeah.
want it to... She didn't want to come down on Eliana and
Yeah.
it be like... You're coming down on your best friend in front of the entire English class?
Essentially, this is something where, for whatever reason,
All the voices are echoing.
everything's echoing.
Yeah.
It's as if, like, you're yelling into, like, a well. You can hear everything, all the conversations.
Yes?
I would like to throw when, even though we can still hear everything, Verity does walk over to, like, Sable and Jax. And she gives Sable a hug.
Aw.
And she says, you might be a con artist, you might not, but you know what? You are the best con artist. Because I truly believed you were a tarot, like, fortune reader, and you what?
I conned you into loving me, which is like the best
You
thing.
conned my heart. You conned my heart, and do you what?
You conned my heart, and she boops your nose.
Things are going so much better on your guys'.
I kind of ship this.
And Verity looks over at Jackson. Is like, "Come on, big bro, let's."
And he hugs you back.
Let me in there.
It's like a girl group hug,
Group
actually.
hug.
And you feel, because of the way, like, Jax is, he's, like, kind of, like, scrunching you guys a little bit. It's like a tight muscles.
Yeah.
And essentially, like, you two having your conversation kind of walk back over. And
Oh, were we fully resolved? 'Cause-
were you?
Eliana hasn't addressed what her thoughts were.
Yeah.
If you're going to. I don't know if you're going to or not, but.
Oh.
Or if we
well,
were done with you. I don't know. We can speak to Cry.
Yeah.
I don't think she says anything about it, honestly, towards Ira.
About Ira?
No.
Okay. Well.
She sees you as a leader one way or another, but...
Maybe you say that.
Well... I feel
mean,
like...
It's your funeral. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's test that would they live on in your legacy theory.
I mean... I'm trying to think how she would address this.
Or somebody else can address it to Ira first. Because you all saw it, right? Like, you all saw the way Ira was viewed. Because I think at this point, all things considered, that's the one thread that hasn't been addressed. Aside
Verity's
from...
address?
Yeah.
Which I was going to continue.
Hi.
I'm sorry, I'll go to bed.
Amidst the hug, right?
Yeah.
As the hug kind of breaks away, and he says, Severity, I know what you got going on up there. If it comes to it, and it for whatever reason turns on us, and he kind of says it's like in an endearing way. Like, I'm not going to hesitate. But I'll do my damnedest to make sure I can beat that little fucker out of you if I have to.
Oh, good. I thought you said you were going to kill me. That airs things out a bit.
Well, let's not have to test the theory of if you die, he leaves, and then we bring you back to life. But
Didn't work last time.
That's so true.
He's already
You're
was just- that was-
distance.
that was just her, it was her soul. It wasn't her physical body. So, but
I appreciate it.
all things considered, as much as you view me as like an older brother and things like that, you're kind of like, to me and the rest of us, this like little rain cloud younger sibling that we got to make sure we got to keep spreading the sunshine as much as possible, and letting you know that you're not in that rain cloud alone. We'll hold up the umbrella or whatever piece of cloth that keeps the rain from just chilling you to the bone. This shadow thing be damned. That darkness that keeps trying to make you feel like you're a danger to yourself and others isn't going to scare any of us away. Not anytime soon. Or ever. We love you. We love having you with us in this group. And you're kind of stuck with us now. And he turns to Sable and says, so are you.
Nice.
Good. Because I don't want to be alone. All of it's really... It's scary. Having that cloud over me. Sometimes having a little shadow follow me everywhere.
Well, we fought one god. Maybe we can do it again. I mean, your guy's not a full god.
Please no DM. Does Jax make that same face?
Yeah, it's like he's just like, I mean, if we have to, but jeez.
Let's take one. Let's do one step at a time. And then she like does that, and then she just like brings you into like a side hug. Yeah. It's
Well, fearless leader. What?
That was. That's a hell of a segue. I was trying to think of a segue this whole time, and I couldn't come up with one.
What do we?
I think the problem with like what Ira saw is that there's no difference in what she saw to how she sees herself. So in her mind, it literally could have just been herself. Like that was her thoughts.
Yeah.
Oh, someone messing with the.
Hey, Gabe,
It's okay.
stop it. Be cute. Yes.
He can sniff my stuff.
Play with the door.
I guess.
We need to mic him up.
We need to mic him
There
up.
he goes. Door boy.
Anyway,
I guess we're both kind of leaders in our own way. Given commands, I'm trying to spread some. Yeah, there's.
trying to spread some religion. Is that the word?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and I guess I can speak in a different perspective. You may be this fearless leader that a lot of us turn to and rely on. But I do get to see a little bit of a softer side of you than a lot of other people do. And I think, especially the people in this room, it's okay to be a little squishy sometimes. Because we've proven time and time again that we got your back. And as much as you have ours, like you always have. You've always made that clear. And even though being this like fearless leader kind of perspective isn't bad or negative or whatever you want to look at it,
I'm sorry. I love him so much.
I just don't want that to be too much to the point where it just feels like what you've seen any kind of gestures to Eliana, it being all on your shoulders or a feeling like that, because it can come off in ways that aren't the greatest.
Well, I think the parts of it for me that are okay are that when it counts and when the chips are down, I don't cave. I don't need to take a step back and evaluate. I just know what the move is.
But I mean,
It's the emotional consequences of having to deal with all that later. You know?
I mean, we just had this whole shit with these people that were trying to maybe kill you, maybe drain you of your blood. I don't
even know.
It's not worth it to be. I know this is another opinion from me that's like, maybe I'm not seeking to understand, but it doesn't reward you in the end to completely steel yourself against everything, because it'll all bubble up in the end, and it'll all bottle up and come out at some point.
So I think that's the interesting part, that almost everyone here misses, is that I don't steal myself away from it. Just not everyone gets to see inside the cracks. It's not relevant.
if it's a part of you, then it is relevant.
Yeah.
And she's thinking through a few moments, like whenever, like Verity first, like snapped back to life, and Ira was crying like over her, and she's thinking of like several different moments where like she did show, she did break, she did crack, and she's like, am I just supposed to be an exposed nerve all the time? Like, you want me to just like wrap myself in like a big pink plush blanket and just cry when things are hard? Like, that's not, no.
Sometimes it's good to cry.
And I think
I don't have to make a spectacle of it either.
Yeah.
That could just be a preference.
I think, and again, to speak again, like on the other side of the coin, like we just need to understand that those parts of Ira are there, and
I just
kind of remember that
to process privately.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that, like, to remember that the parts that we have seen so far, and to kind of use that as those as reminders when her stern words or kind of direction of, you know, pushing us forward or making sure we get somewhere on time or something doesn't annoy us or get on our nerves and stuff because we feel like she's being too hard or whatever on all of us. Because at the end of the day, it's just her way of trying to fill in the cracks, I guess.
There are two sides to every coin, but it's the same coin.
Yeah.
Also, have any of you ever paid any attention when Allier is out and my behavior when Allier is out?
The Bountifolia.
Like, she's sitting here like, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? Like,
You are very sweet on it.
I like to be sweet on Cole, but, you know, that's not a me problem.
Yeah, you can be a little attitude sometimes.
It's a process.
Uh-oh. Got a cat under the camera.
Come here.
Come.
Come here.
No.
She's such an Aries. She's such an Aries.
Eliana. Eliana's not an Aries. Allie G is an Aries.
Allie G is an
That's
Aries.
what I meant.
So this, like, entity, the last things you hear, you all are Chaos United.
Did they just name us?
We sound like a church.
I kind of like it.
I like it a lot. We are two sides of the same coin.
And essentially this kind of, there's this level of, like, you see all the kind of grass and trees and stuff. There's like, it's almost as if everything around you all just kind of bloomed at once. And now, under circumstances, this is not going to be a free-for-all. You are now all forever psychically linked. Thoughts, emotions shared.
Ira's like, I can't drink ever again.
It's under the kind of circumstance where there's like some like, I can't remember what show or something I was watching before, where it was like essentially like they could always telepathically like talk to each other like from a distance or no matter what.
So it's not like a. So I envision that as like a wave of like, I'm hearing everyone's thoughts and feeling all of their emotions all at one time.
This is something where if you need to make, it's like that bridge is there, you don't always have to cross it.
Oh, so no sending stones? We don't have to sending stone to each other anymore?
Again, there will be circumstances, and this is not a free-for-all.
Probably have to be close by.
Fuck.
It will be balanced.
That's so cool.
I had to ask.
Do we know this?
That is the blooming of unity. Because
I get why you withheld that.
sure did. Essentially everything once it blooms, it kind of goes back to this like the room, and the primordial being essentially is gone, and a set of stairs leading up at the far end of the room. And so you all approach the staircase and you go up the stairs and you find yourself walking out the front entrance of the way you came in.
You know what's so funny about this? If Dawn ever comes back,
She's gonna be the only one who can find to talk to himself.
Wait, does this mean we can talk to plants now?
What's the vibe with the horses?
Again, there are limitations and circumstances to what you've been granted.
why would we be able to speak with plants?
Because you're a plant.
No. No.
Dawn thought she was a plant.
That's what I mean.
Anyway.
You come back out of this place. The horses seem to be glad that you have came back in this circumstance.
They're like, we were left once before.
Well, they were properly tied up and had food.
They did have food.
And you kind of come back out of this cave and you feel the air is not as thick as it was. Essentially, it feels like normal. The mist is cleared.
That was a lot that I wasn't expecting today.
I need a nap.
A lot of self-reflection happening.
What time of day is it? Like,
It's as if mere moments had passed.
The horses saw us walk in 5 seconds later. Hey, what's up? Guys, you're back.
I'm with Sable. I need a nap.
And you can tell this because the food that you had left for the horses is not very, very eaten at all. Almost as if it was barely touched. The sun is still in the same position in the sky. It's just as if this area in which you are at, most metaphorically and physically, the air has been cleared.
Okay, look, next time we're traveling, let's not walk into the deep dark fog. Because while that was fun,
I don't think it was particularly fun. But it was needed.
dark, scary fog is still dark, scary fog.
Yeah.
Because it could have been like you thought. We could have actually sacrificed one of us.
Yeah, that's why in the first part,
It could have actually happened.
yeah. It's kind of why I said no
The
first time.
the fractured escape is you all would have left alone at separate times, months or years apart.
Oh, shit.
Well,
Well.
That's why I didn't talk about it. I was like, all right, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Dean was like, there's only one way out of this.
There was a
actually.
possibility. Trust me, I would have went down that road.
I either end my campaign,
Right? It's like,
or y'all aren't start coming up with backup characters for about 5 tangential parties.
I mean, Ira's back on the horse.
Okay.
Are we...
We ain't staying here.
Where were we heading to again? What Leon said.
Tree.
You have the map.
All right, I do have the map.
Swamp Tree.
Swamp tree. So
I guess we
we're-
could go with Chaos Unified if that's less churchy.
I like that.
What was the first one?
Chaos United.
Chaos United.
Like a soccer team or like United Methodist Church or something.
So Chaos Unified.
Or how about Unified Chaos?
Ooh.
I like that one.
Okay.
I like, unified chaos.
That's so
But
funny.
chaos has to be a play on colon. It has to be K-A-O-S.
You guys
Yeah.
can talk about that later.
Has to be.
We're talking about it while we're riding.
We're literally talking about it now.
We're riding. We're
Active
like-
conversation.
Should I try the box again?
As we're riding.
We're moving.
As you ride off into the forest, that is where we're going to pick up next time. Thank you so much for watching us here at Off the Beaten Quest. Hope you enjoyed this emotional ride. I think it was well needed, and it was a lot of fun. Thank you so much to Pocket Bard for all the great ambient music. That super epic kind of this music that's been played has been pretty awesome. It's been hitting those emotional moments. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye. Bye.
Or so you thought.
What the fuck?
As you all ride off into the forest, far in a different part of Aarencia,
Post-credit scene.
as if you are, I guess you wouldn't know this, but there's a conversation being had. A man that looks like Ira's brother, speaking to a man that essentially he comes into the room. It's this like kind of old, kind of cathedral kind of place. Very much like it looks like a cathedral and a library, kind of hybrid. And this looks like almost like a noble elven warrior kind of walks into the room, and the man that looks like Ira's brother turns and says, "Well, that was interesting." "Yes, it was. But I suppose that some dominoes have to be pushed to create the chain reaction. Shall I seek the group that has caused this issue?" It kind of... And he says, "In due time, the blade of Dendio will fall, and those in our way bring my sister back to me. Gather forth the others and find where they are going. You are my best assassin, after all. I trust this job will be done." "Yes. Yes, my lord." And you hear another voice in the room that says, "New heir to the Mauryan Empire. A new age shall fall." And that's where we're going to truly end for tonight.
Bro, what the fuck?
Thank you so much. I had to do the post credits. We'll see you in the next episode.
I don't want to say bye.
Bye, question mark?